Absolutely. On a Wednesday evening, welcome to the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio, hosted by myself, yours truly, Kevin Barnes, aka the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Halfway through the weekend loading, right? Most people are just trying to get through the week. Say, man, it's Wednesday, hump day. That's why they call it hump day. Getting over the hump. And almost made it through. Welcome to the show. The theme of the show tonight, if you don't follow me or follow, the show, is Who Stole the Soul? Okay. Outlaw Radio, Who Stole the Soul? What soul? What you talking about, Kev? I promise you I'm gonna explain all of this, right? And this is based on some press releases today that we became aware of. And so I'll elaborate on that. First and foremost, let me say we're on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until whenever we choose to cut the machine off, quite frankly, because we own the machine, right? So we can dip in, dip out when we want to. But we're on Mondays and Wednesdays, usually at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I was a little late tonight. I had to take care of some business, but I'm here. And you're here, so share the show. Let people know Outlaw Radio is on. People, I thought they wasn't coming on. It didn't come on at 7:30. This is the problem with black businesses. I'm here, man. I'm here. So let's get into it and talk about who has stolen the proverbial soul. What happened to the souls of black folks in the United States of America? Way, way back in the days before when I was still just a glimmer in my father's eye, James Brown said, I shouted out loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Soul power. Soul brother number one. Our charisma, our savoir-faire, what we bring to everything that we get involved in. Doesn't matter what it is. And there, to this date, you can try to stereotype it or you can try to recreate it, right? We know that as far as the other people, the other side goes, they try to interfere with it, right? They tend to be able to get inside of it, penetrate it, and then try to take it for their own. So we'll talk about that tonight. There's a phone number attached to the show. It's 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131. And then we have a chat room. That's always popping, man. I love my Outlaw family. Shout out to all of y'all. I appreciate the support because I keep talking about this age that we live in which there are 1,000,001 different platforms. So if you choose to rock with Outlaw Radio, just understand I appreciate you and yours. Right? So welcome to the show. My brother Ruben Anderson in the chat room early. He said, what's good, sir? What's happening with you, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good for you. And I wish this is like a hater-free zone, a hate-free zone. We don't really do hating over here. So whatever you have going, it's all good for me. Like I say this all the time. I'm not racist, but I am prejudiced. Because I want black people to win. I want to live around black people. I want to spend my money with them. I want to converse with them. I want to fellowship with them. When I see a brother, it's most powerful thing, you walking into a store, another brother look at you and give you that, what's happening with you, bro? You know, what's up, man? How you doing? This us. We straight. So I'm prejudiced for black people. I ain't scared to admit it. So my platform is dedicated to foundational Black American conversation. And so when I ask a question like who stole the soul, that means something is amiss. Mr. Witch Doctor, how you doing this evening, man? Welcome to the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. What it do?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Happy to be here. Sorry I'm late, y'all. Sorry I'm late, but I doubt if anybody was really looking for a player.
I was late. I was late, Kamar. I was late. If you look at
You
the
was too.
yeah, if you look at the text, which I noticed nobody did in the group, it said we ain't going on till 7:45.
Oh
So you're
shit, I
not
missed all that.
right.
You know,
No,
I
that's
usually on Wednesdays, Tyson closed the store out for me, and I'll be
okay.
able to come home, kick back, relax, or if I got some other shit to take care of right quick, I get to do it. But today, I closed the store out, and I had to go make a quick run right quick, and yeah, here I
I
am.
tell you what. I tell you what. Wasted time is a stupid crime. You hear now. So
Okay.
we gonna chop it up. Now, the theme of the show tonight is who stole the soul. And if you
So,
know who stole the soul, who stole the soul.
okay.
PE had a song back in the day called Who Stole the Soul. And I'm looking at this now. We see this announcement come out that BET, who is, I believe, owned by Viacom, which is not a black whatever. And if they've been sold to someone else, please set me straight. But so they have postponed or postponed, suspended the Soul Train Awards as well as the BET Hip Hop Awards, and they said indefinitely. So BET has been looked at historically as probably our main vein with when it comes to before streaming and before the internet and before all of the fast food nature of information. Now, back in the days, if you wanted black news, you looked at BET, right? And you could be put up on what's going on around the country in terms of us. Now we know Bob Johnson, shout out to that brother who started something that nobody thought would work, and he was able to just build on it until he got $1 billion payout, right? And that's what it's about. It had become a large organization. He was employing people, right? Black people were getting jobs. He created this whole enterprise. There was nothing wrong with him saying, "Hey man, I'm on the north side of 50. Let me get this paper and be, so I can enjoy the fruits of my labor." So he sold it. But the last BET Awards that we looked at, we said, they gave a hip hop award. They gave a gospel award to Glorilla. Okay, I'll say that again. The last, I believe it was the BET Awards. I don't think it was the hip hop awards. But they got Gospel Song of the Year. And then we think about the amount of twerking and ass throwing and these cultures, these subcultures of hip hop now, the dope boy culture with the music and the whorehouse rap with the sisters. We could see the deterioration of some of our cultural things just deteriorating because somebody other than us owned this. And how do you put the Soul Train Awards on the BET? I get, but the Soul Train is so much more iconic because it will be no BET had there not been Soul Train. Don Cornelius put the plug in for all this shit. Y'all want to see us on TV doing our thing? Soul Train. Boom. Show ran for 27 years. So I started to look at other kind of avenues, and I said to myself, what black entity in terms of us, foundational black Americans, do we still own that we created? We don't own hip hop anymore. When it comes to the movies, there's gatekeepers that are not going to let certain messages and certain characterizations of black people get to the mainstream. It's just in their best interest not to do it sometimes. So I say, who stole the soul? Who's stolen the soul is all of the other people, whatever culture they may be, who have been allowed to come to the cookout. All you want to bring, oh man, he cool. He a white boy. He like rap music. Oh, this my Puerto Rican homeboy. He like rap music. See, we always be like, y'all come check this out to everybody, and nobody else has the same energy towards us. So when I say who stole the soul, I'm gonna start with white people. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say who sold the soul.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? Who sold the soul? Like they go hand in hand, right?
It does.
Because like you say, the brother sold BET. After that, it wasn't the same no more. And that's letting you talk about inviting them to the cookout. That's pretty much what it be. Niggas selling out. You doing too much.
That's why I put that in there, Kamar, because I didn't want anybody to think that I'm under the illusion that it wasn't sold. You know what I mean? And I think BET is the biggest example, but number 2 would be Def Jam. Look at hip hop since Russell sold Def Jam.
Yeah.
Right? It's mass produced. It becomes cheap, basically, right? Like, so you get a cheap piece of electronics from somewhere in China that'll rival what you won't go in the store and pay the same price for. So if we can mass produce it and make it work, why worry about the quality? Why worry about, anything other than the bottom line? So BET, let me tell you this, Kamar. I did without BET for a long time because in whatever cable package I've had or satellite TV, I always had BET. And I got to the point where it wasn't matching up for me after it was sold, like the programming of it. And it started with the joint back in the days, the late night video, BET Uncut, right? And we watched, like you see, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then the promotion of music and artists and messages that was counterproductive. So I haven't had BET for a very long time. Recently, I reacquired because my wife, she watches something. I don't know which show it is. She watches something on BT Plus, so I got it. So I start diving in, right? I watch Miss Pat, who I do like, which is for some people a bit much. I don't know if you've ever watched Miss Pat. But I'm going to tell you, I got into the latest show, man. It's called All the Queen's Men. Have you ever seen this shit, Kamar?
Some of it. Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Okay. I want to talk about that just a second, but let me catch the chat room because I want to make sure people in the chat room know what's up. Ewok in the chat room early. He said LOL. I think he was laughing at me for being late, y'all. Aaron Brown, Chicago Win in the chat room. He said they labeled me an outlaw. Outlaw. That's the reason why I named this show Outlaw Radio. It's one of my favorite songs. But so this particular show, I wasn't really peeping. I'm looking at Eve. What's her name? Eva Marcel, the top model. Is that my phone? Whose alarm is going off like that? Is that my shit or your shit? That can't be mine because nobody's texting me.
No, that's my alerts on my computer, man. I don't know how to turn that shit off.
Oh shit! I'm like, is somebody tapping in?
That be people sharing my reels, man. Them people sharing my reels.
Okay, I don't know. I'm hearing something. Anyway,
I don't know how to turn it down without turning volume down for what we doing.
Okay. So I'm looking at this show, and at first I'm just thinking it's about Eva. Eva's fine. I'm looking, good looking, pretty sister. She can act her ass off. And I'm not getting it at first. I'm thinking it's about a sister who owns a strip club, right? But it's about a sister who owns a male strip club. Okay. And if you've ever seen Players Club, if you've ever seen what's another good stripper movie, anything on Tubi with the strip clubs, and you see the Players Club.
Anything on Tubi.
Yeah, that's right. So how the dynamics of the men being just dominant over the women, and the women are objectified, right? Meaning, so these chicks walk around with next to nothing on, cats is talking to them like they ain't shit. They get mistreated. The dude's in charge. He's a pimp. He's a player. Bitch, shut the fuck up and da-da-da-da. This shit's totally flipped because it is the men who are objectified. Get your ass out there and get my motherfucking money, nigga. This is the actual quote from the show. Come on. I'm not paraphrasing. Damn. Y'all go watch this shit. She is the most evil character ever written. She is the most deadly. I mean, she is just like, they got scenes with people getting heads chopped off and cut up and dissected, with the dude pull the guts out and play with the guts, and bombs going off, mass murder. And she's ruthless and heartless. But the men, there's no competent male in this whole show. The women run the show. All of the men are either subservient or they just dumbass strippers. And it's like, she talks to them like, yeah, motherfucker, you my money. You better my foot hurt. You get your ass to the doctor. I'm losing money. But it's about, like, this is how she's talking to the dudes.
Yeah. I remember Dame Dash had a show where he had black people playing slave owners and the white people was the slave.
Dame Dash had that, you said?
Yeah, I think it was some shit what he had. It was a series what he had on TV. I forgot the name of the series. I want to say Tales from the Dark Side or something. Tales from
something comes
something.
to mind. Something comes to mind. I know what you're talking about. I can't
Yeah,
remember the
this
quote.
whole series. It was a bunch of different shows.
But this show, I mean, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, dude, you actually sitting here watching a show that's about male strippers. But I'm fast forwarding, and there's really not a real lot gay stuff like you see the shows, and they have no. These are men who get used by women who have money. So women literally come in the club and be like, yeah, what's up with that? How much you gonna cost for the night? Like, yeah, and you get the money to madam, and they have to give her money, and it's just fucking ridiculous. Tyler Perry is the executive producer. And I said, oh, light bulb.
Yeah.
Black men are rarely positive in Tyler Perry movies, except him. He's the only one. He's the only. Even Idris Elba got in trouble with Tyler Perry. Oh, absolutely. And the darker, the more evil. The more evil you are if you dark. And so once again, I'm watching this and I start looking at other stuff, and it's all Tyler Perry behind most of it. And so I'm like, this is all bad. I mean, I love to see black people work, so I don't want to be that type of person, but it's not quality programming. But I've watched this show. I want everybody to watch this show. I think this show is so crazy. It is a game changer, Kamar. I've never seen.
I gotta watch. I never got into it.
You're gonna bug out when you see how she treats these men. I feel like I'm a feminist, right? Like you said, women like, oh, it's so offensive to us, and they call us bitches and hoes, and man, and these some big muscle bound dudes, right? Like dance, but we're dancers, and she has her top 5. They the top hoes, and then everybody else is a junior dancers.
Damn.
But they're all psychopaths. Almost everybody on the show is a psychopath. Like they have just multiple, like women, dudes in the locker room having sex with a woman who just, like I said, walked up to him like, yeah, I got some money. What's happening? He ends up hitting her so hard that he hangs her on the towel hook in the bathroom and kills her.
Oh, man, that's
I'm trying to tell you. Y'all gotta go watch this shit. I know I've been on a rant about that, but I've been watching that show. You know what I'm saying? I guess my point is I see more programming about the grittier side of us. I see more programming geared towards that than the inspirational part of us. Like I see the same kind of regurgitated stories with different people. And like I said, I love Tubi, so I've probably done seen a Tubi movie. But I'm realizing like there's quality and there's quantity. And so, like I said, who stole the soul? When did black people start collectively celebrating this thing we have called soul? It used to resonate for us. It meant something when somebody say soul power. You know what I'm saying? That's not a thing anymore. Or has it been replaced by another concept? If so, please let me know. That is my rant for who stole the soul, though, Kamara. You said who sold the soul. That's beautiful too. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. Yeah. Who sold it, motherfucker? A lot of people done signed bad paperwork and just gave shit up. You know?
Yeah.
Out of the necessity to survive and thrive. Like they offered me 15 million for something that could easily be worth 45 to 50. But I've never had 15 million before. And I've been busting my ass to get this thing up and running. I could just take some money and start something else, as opposed to them who sit on shit for 30. Well, not now because you got all kinds of different venture capitalists and takeovers and stuff like that. But they still have the ability to say, nah, they can turn down that first 15. We can't. Like, what if the brother Bob Johnson had said to the first, when they offered him 100 million or whatever, 1 billion, if he said, no, I need at least 5 or 6 or whatever it was, you probably got triple the money, and the quality of the platform or of the station would have probably lasted a long time. So a lot longer. So rest in peace, man. I ain't gonna do the BET Hip Hop Awards been bullshit forever, But the Soul Train Awards is something that we should always make sure we maintain culturally. And I don't even like award shows of no kind. So definitely something missing culturally for us in today's society. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being an old man and thinking about what Soul Train meant to me growing up back in the days. You know what I'm saying? That was like a super expression of us when that shit.
It was different back then, kid. Even as we got older, Soul Train started getting diluted too.
And he sold it.
You know, once Don Cornelius left, Soul Train wasn't the same no more.
They had Shamar Moore on there. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, what the
fuck? And it got sold, Kamar. Who sold the soul, right? I just, even with hip hop, and I love it for hip hop artists, and I love it for the hip hop culture, what's left of it, but the selling of it, the commoditization of it is what ruined it. Like,
yeah,
it used to take your favorite artist 2 years to make an album. So he's gonna release his album, he's gonna have 4 or 5 singles, and then he's gonna tour.
And they're gonna push that album for about at least
he got 4 or 5 singles.
Anything else from him? You got so excited when you heard him on a feature.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
He had 4 or 5 singles, and 3 of them was hits, and that shit went on for about a year, and then he or she toured the next year, right? Now, they might have had an album in the can that they released while they're touring, but usually you ain't gonna hear from that dude. The album had about a 3-year lifespan almost. You know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't hear from that artist for you say, damn, he made an album in 88, 93, and 97. Why the fuck it take so long? Because you had to get the money. So now these dudes come out with albums, and another thing come out is the features. Our favorite rappers back in the days didn't necessarily always be on other people's albums like that. It wasn't like, no, everybody can get a feature.
It wasn't always like that. That's why you got so excited.
Right. Like,
oh, you hear that Spice on an MC8, nigga?
Wow.
Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, but I love the fact that there is a Tubi, and I think some of these young filmmakers that are working the Tubi, it's like the Chitlin circuit. I think those young filmmakers, black filmmakers who are navigating that network, some of them are going to be really good one day if they keep at it. Some of them are going to be like a major dude who said, I started at Tubi. You know what I'm saying?
Gladiator school. That's the Gladiator school.
Yeah, man. House of Correction right there, baby.
Oh, fucking Tubi. But yeah, you right. Out of them, bro. Gonna be the shit later.
Oh, shit. You all right, man? Get that man some agua.
That's the shit. Here.
I'm cooler. I don't want to call. I probably pass out if I call like that. You in better shape than me. But no, you're right. Like it's some of them it's inevitable. Some of the actors, some of the directors, some people who are over there, you know, going through paying their dues are going to bubble in tomorrow's top filmmakers. So I don't mind watching it. Just see, and some shit on Tubi so horrible that I won't watch it. I'll start watching like, nah, I ain't even finna do this. You know what I'm saying? If your cameras look murky, like they just filmed it with their phone, or if the sound is just really bad, I'm like, nah, I can't watch this. Beauty says Prince tell it all about. She said Prince tell it all about the culture of music. Prince did have a lot to say about, man, the nature of the music business, right? And for somebody who is as adept at creating music as Prince, it says a lot, because you would think that they'd be breaking their backs to please him. They was trying to fuck him too. It's like, no. So yeah, it's always been that thing about the deals that our culture, from music to film to sports, we always see this person shine and we assume that they're rich. Like, oh man, he must be rich, and he got this, you know. Look at what TLC signed and sold all these records, and these motherfuckers had like $50 and shit. And that was done to them by some other black people. LaFace Records, right? So once again, like you said, who sold the soul? That's who sold and who stole. That's both of them right there. She said, Muhammad Ali tell the white people how they take everything from us. That's been said a lot of times. It's one of the reasons why we talk about delineating is like, how can anybody criticize us for saying anything that we say when we are basically the creators of damn near everything that's great about America? Like, I don't know what you can, unless you want to talk about getting money. And we know white people are the greatest at that. They figured out how to procure and corner resources for financial progress. We know that. She said our foods, haircuts, everything. Don't get it twisted when we talk about the place we hold in this economy. Nobody's bigger wasteful spenders than us. It take money to have this beautiful black skin. You gonna have some lotion, some baby oil, no diddy, some Vaseline, some hair grease. You know, we need our sisters need a bunch of stuff for that beautiful hair to be. And I ain't talking about chemicals. Even if she's natural, it's a price tag attached to them berries and juices, right? So it's a market for black beauty products. Oh shit! You have a sister who started her nails, go all the way down to her feet and come back up to the top of her head. That's a budget. That's a budget. That is crazy. I go in the bathroom sometimes and look at all the beauty stuff my wife has, and she don't even really wear makeup or chemicals in her hair. And I'm like, holy, what is this? And it's like, you know, different sponges and applicators. And I'm like, what is all this? I never seen a comb that looks like this, right?
Right.
It's a budget, man. So you know, we spend, man. And then just to look good, man. We gonna do it, man. Because black people, one thing I learned about black people that's different from white people is black people care about shoes. Any black person who has a little change gonna have some clean, solid shoes on. I've seen some white people with the dirtiest shoes, oldest shoes, and I don't know if that's their way of saving money or what, but I'm like, why would you even come out the house with some shoes like that? Them shits is supposed to be white, they're gray. But just on our shoes, man, I ain't wearing no piss wipers. Come on. I ain't really go buy the $400, $500 Jordans, but I spent some money on some shoes for myself.
Hey,
like
they wear them because they comfortable. They wear them because they comfortable.
Okay.
A lot of black people wear shoes because other people like them.
Okay. You can get some clean shoes that's comfortable though, Kamar.
I think a lot of us fool ourselves into really liking shoes because we know other people like them. You know how black people use different stuff like as a status type of thing.
Shoes are
status.
What I'm
saying? I gotta get these J's. It's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And it really don't be that, but that be some of the reasons. That's just some of the reason why you see white people wearing regular beat down shoes. They comfortable. Shit, that's all better to them. You know what I'm saying?
So cleanliness.
We want to look good with our shit.
Well, yeah, but at least have them clean. You can wear some old ones. That's not just clean. Wash them.
Hey, I feel you. Hey, I'm with you. I'm just trying to make sense of this shit with you.
Like, what is this about? Like, I got this thing where my wife laughs at me because I got what I call school clothes and play clothes, right? Because I grew up at a time where when you first go back to school, all your clothes is new. But when you get home, you had to take them clothes off and put on your play clothes. Right. And so if your mom and them just bought you some new shoes, them was your school shoes. You had your play shoes, which was your old shoes.
You better not wear them outside while you play.
But you outside in them school shoes? Man, I got a grass stain in some school pants one time because I just jumped in a football game. I just cats were throwing the ball. I want to play. Man, I came home. My mother damn near lost her mind. I know goddamn well them ain't the motherfucking new school pants. I damn near got killed.
Straight up.
She's like, how am I gonna get this shit out of here? It was crazy, man. But so just be clean.
I got another one. I
understand quality over quantity. I get because if you're a person who likes shoes and you're an adult, right? It don't just have to be Jordans. Like you should be able to go shop for shoes and get the shoes that you like. They might be a little bit more, but it's not. I'm not getting these for somebody else. I wanted these motherfuckers. Why you buy them shoes? I like these motherfuckers. So I'm different in that regard. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wear all type of shit. I wear some shoes from K&G. You know what I mean? If they comfortable and I like them and they match the fit I'm wearing, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's do it. 20 bucks, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But no, I was just finna say, like, here's another one. Like, a lot of time when black people go out of town, we go get new clothes, new outfits and shit, shoes. Hey, look, and then you be out there, you be seeing white people wearing their old shirts and shit. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about all that shit. They there. It's more about the experiencing it to them, I guess. We want to look good for the people.
Well, I can say this too, though. That's true to a certain point, because there are way more poor white people in this world than black people think. And a lot of black people are under the assumption that if you see a white man, and he's dressed down, he must be rich because he's saving his. No, there are a lot of them that are poor. So they are wearing what the fuck they have at home. So it ain't, well, I got stocks. No, you don't have stocks and bonds, motherfucker. You eating out the shelter. So I know this to be true. Trust me when I say it. But there are things Beauty said, haircuts. I mean, shit, a haircut was $7 and $15. When it got up to 20, I was like, ooh, motherfuckers out here charging $40 and $50 for a haircut and getting it. And more than that.
Hey, look, I would clean my face up for me, right? I had already shaved and shit. You know what I mean? My head and everything. That motherfucker said $35. Dog, I ain't got a haircut. Hey, listen, Kev, I ain't got a haircut in the barbershop since before I went to the joint, nigga. And that shit was like $15.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you got sticker shock now. You walk in the shop.
I was fucked up when hey, look, I pulled it out of my pocket like it wasn't shit. You know what I mean?
You was fronting?
I fronted. I was hurt on the inside. Like,
he cried in the car. He cried in the car. Wow. Hey, I ain't got no choice, man. Because I done had these butters for a long time and it ain't fading or going nowhere. So this got to get handled.
You cut your own hair, you gotta go to the barbershop.
No. And I'm not gonna even try because I cannot. I can't compromise my butters, man. I can't. I let my son cut my hair one time just because he was trying to learn how to cut. If you go back, as a matter of fact, I tell y'all what, go to YouTube and dig through our old videos and watch any show during the pandemic. It must have been for about a year where I didn't get a haircut. I wouldn't even share those videos now, Kamar. I have seen some of them. I'm like, what the hell was going on? Man, I look like I got on that bad makeup when they put a fake beard and a fake fro on somebody in a movie. That's how I look. But that's really my it was bad. So yeah, I'm used to I was there for the whole markup of it. One of my barbers, well, one of the last ones, shout out to Phil, Paul, who's my guy, who was tragic what happened to Paul. But he had got up to $40. And like you said, I was shooting it out there. But if I could say I got my son is 30.
I'm gonna put my hat back. Hey, put my hat back on. Put my hat back on.
I'm walking up out of there spending $70 on 2 haircuts. Like you said, I fronted when I get, all right, bro. All right, man. I'm walking out like, God damn, $70. So yeah, my barber now, shout out to Omar. He don't charge me 40. He's real tight. Me and him conversed about the price, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not going." Well, he's one of us though. He's one of the OGs, like you say. He's like, "Nah, man, I ain't gonna do that because I know you're gonna keep coming back. So I ain't gonna try to sting you." Who in the chat room? This is Erica Hunt. What's going on, Erica Hunt? How you doing? She said we spend on baby oil. No, I said baby oil. No, Diddy. Yeah, people can make fun of baby oil all they want. But if you was black, y'all had some baby oil in that goddamn house. Usually one bottle would last like 3-4 years though, right? Like, but you had some.
Hey, you had baby oil. It was some Vaseline in there, some fucking wear.
Powder.
And you might even have some lotion with cocoa butter in it.
Yeah, powder. Goddamn Blue Magic hair grease. You fuck around, had some wave grease, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm black. I know we had it. Shit.
Right.
Erica said, sure is. If you have little girls, yeah, because my daughter, man, once again, I couldn't afford for her not to be fresh. Beauty Washington. Oh no, Waddington. I'm sorry, y'all. Said shoes. Yeah, but I did that for both of my kids because I didn't want them to grow up not having things. You know, I wanted them to, because my son made the point to me, like one day we was talking about his shoes, and like he always wants these super expensive shoes, and he's like, "Well, it's your fault because you had me in Jordan since I was like 2, so I don't know." Right, and he's right because I was always like, "No, they got to have gear. They have to have shoes. They have to have clothes." I took that upon myself, and a lot of us do so. Erica Hunt said we appreciate shoes more because they were a luxury during slavery time. I know y'all heard about the soldier who fought in the Civil War with no shoes on. Well, we didn't hear about him. We seen it in Glory. No, we heard about him. Like it was real and shit. You know that dude name was Marlon Wayans, wasn't it? No, Denzel, who ran to go get the shoes. And Morgan Freeman said they had to whip his ass. He said the boy went to find shoes, sir. He got there fighting the war with no shoes on and doing us bad. She said 40 and then tip $60 to $100. I ain't paying no $100 for no haircut. If it ever get up to those levels, I will find a different alternative. Like Kamar said, I might have to just do some tutorials and learn how to tighten my shit up myself. Like I'm gonna have to start watching YouTube video. I ain't paying no $100 for no cut, bro. I ain't paying over 50. If it ever go up over 50, I'm gonna be like, no, I gotta find something else. I think I'd probably just hire like somebody private, you know, and say you ain't got the overhead to have to maintain your shop. So come on, man, give me a deal. Beauty said, and then they ask you to put a deposit. She said, then they ask you to put a deposit down. This has been since COVID. What we putting a deposit down on? What we putting it on? I'm behind. She's naming off the shoes. So I don't know, man. Y'all tell me, well, who stole the soul in your opinion, or who sold the soul? Like Kamar said, what has happened to the deterioration of our culture? Like, and not that it's not things out there. I'm speaking more to quality over quantity. Like, yeah, we have a lot more avenues and platforms now than we've ever had. Even with the podcasting or even the quality, the content creators, there's a lot of podcasts, but what are you listening to? Like, what's quality versus somebody who's just doing one to say, I got a podcast, which a lot of people do. I've seen people haphazardly approach it and say, man, I'm finna start me a podcast. Ain't never had no experience in no kind of broadcasting, production. Some of these people don't even have real interesting personalities, but I'm just saying, I'm not, hating, and have at it, right? Like, I'm not going to tell nobody not to do it. I'm just saying, you watching and you like, what the fuck am I listening to? I've done that on YouTube pages sometimes. I'm watching and I'll be like, what the hell am I watching? What am I listening to right now? I'm sitting up there listening to some Crips and Bloods from somewhere in LA or Compton or somewhere talking about some shit I have no idea about for like an hour. I'm like, why the fuck am I sitting here listening to this? let me scroll, man. So we take in a lot of bullshit. This is Erica Hunt. She said, I spent like $3,000 in 1 year taking me and my 3 girls to the hairdresser as recommended. Oh man, no, you got to plan, plot, and strategize. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could get my son expensive shoes because I shop smart. So we'll take a random trip to Foot Locker, right? And if them joints is, hey, marked down $75.99, and my son like, Dad, these the Kobe Bryants or the KDs. And I look at them, shit's on sale. I pop them for him. So now he's got way more than one pair of shoes. So I don't have to do that every month. I don't have to go, he running through shoes. Now, athletically, basketball shoes for AAU and cleats and all. Oh man, I spent a mint. My gosh, I spent a mint. I got boxes of football gloves and pads. I gave a lady in Dick's Sporting Goods some shoulder pads, a helmet, thigh pad, because they was finna get her. She didn't have no brother with her. She was in, I want to give my son some football pads. I'm looking at her. dude had her set up for the kill. I was like, hey, excuse me. A dude about a medium. She like, yeah. I was like, I got a new helmet and some shoulder pads in my car right now that he done outgrew because I had my son there. I said, I'll let you have them. She was like, are you serious? I said, yeah, and they knew too. Went to the truck, dude put them on. She was like, oh my God, thank you. Let me give you something. I'm like, nah, just tell him to go ball. Tell him if he ever go pro, just always remember that dude who gave him some pads that day.
Hey, you know what? And stuff come back like that. Like you may be sitting up watching on one Sunday, and the motherfucker be on there getting interviewed, and he talk about how when he was a little boy, this man gave him some shoulder pads. And, you know what I'm saying? And you just know damn well that was you.
Yeah. Once again,
from Milwaukee, back in
they call that pay it forward. They call it pay it forward, right? Pay it forward.
Yeah, man,
this is beauty.
That's what we're supposed to be doing out here.
Yeah, especially if you got it, wasn't finna do nothing but sit in the in our basement. My great nephew in North Carolina, when he got ready to play, my niece was like, yo, I need to get him some pads. I was like, you can have a pads, just pay for the shipping. Because I knew that shit was gonna be. So I sent him, the whole hookup. So I think she had to pay $45 for shipping, but it's a lot more cheap than that $250 she'd had to come off of. She didn't have old Unc up here. She said, this is beauty. She said, well, I see where these rich people take blacks. The 5 Heartbeats tells the story of our music being taken. 5 Heartbeats was a great movie. I loved it. It told a lot of different stories. Sharita Shaw, No Jumper, is one of those podcasts that I was thinking about where I'm watching it for a minute and then I'm like, dude, I can't get this time back. Why am I watching this? And it's like, you don't even know these dudes. Like but they're, I guess in that realm, they're well known. And I'm like, these dudes destroy me in numbers. There's so many people that would rather watch No Jumper.
Well, see, hey, look, but you know what? They really popping, like, especially out there in LA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they really hitting their numbers out there on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you right though, man. They really gravitate to like a bunch of ratchet 5 shit. They like shit when people getting hurt, getting fucked up, or when people into it. You know what I'm saying? People love that shit.
So I was gonna say, I do realize some of them have done things that I won't do for a click or a like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. I don't really want nothing to do with the seedy side of black culture. I don't want to go and promote. Yeah, now I'm a thug and I'm a hard ass gangster ass dude. Now I shoot my gun and I'm tough and I'm rough. I'd rather portray us as a lot more sophisticated than that. And I think that's not popular. It's not as popular as if we came on here and crashed out every week. If me and you came on here and was calling cats out, calling them names, dissing everybody, yeah, these hoe ass niggas. Kamar, I wish they would fuck with us. Wow, man, I hit one of these niggas with. Right. Like people would be like, man, these niggas, they be tripping, they be snapping. No, it's not what we do. It's not what we do. It's not my lane. It ain't my. Shout out to all the brothers I'm still in the trenches. Hey man, be careful.
Hey, I be watching that shit though, kid.
Yes, sir. Me too.
I be watching all that shit. I be watching No Jumper. I be watching all of them On the Couch down there in Chicago. I be watching all that shit.
Corey Holcomb. That's the pod verse. That's the pod verse.
And I think for me, I like the people watch, right?
Okay.
So when I people watch, I feel like I can get a better understanding of people. When I listen, talk, when I hear what they're going through and all that, I get a better understanding of where they coming from and why they might be thinking like they think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just something different for me. I be watching that shit.
Yeah, I watch it too. I watch it all. I would tell people, I watch more YouTube than I watch regular TV. That's why I always say I live in the podverse. I'm always on YouTube. Like ain't no day gonna go by where I'm not looking at something on YouTube. Erica Hunt said she learned how to do hair. I bet you did after spending all that money. I bet you did learn how to do hair. This is Beauty Waddington. She said the Four Tops 1960s, they stole our music and Michael Jackson was buying his rights back. That's why they killed him. And then when they did away with him, they gave him kids that wasn't even his. I can't. Michael Jackson was a weirdo. Michael Jackson had them white kids before all. Listen, I don't think we can say they killed Michael Jackson because he owned Sony, so he wanted to buy something. Michael Jackson was on some drugs broke people can't afford. Michael Jackson was on a mixture of like horse tranquilizers and cocaine and speed and acid and heroin. He had a drug bomb he was taking. Give me my milk. So I can't say they killed him because of that. Mike had gotten really, really lost and confused. Fame and money. This is my opinion. The opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker who said it. Know who to be mad at, right? I say money and fame destroyed Michael Jackson. I feel like it fucked their whole family up. Look at these motherfuckers. Cutting and slicing and tightening and bleaching and like it's money, power, celebrity fucking drives you crazy. So I don't know about Mike. I people say all these theories. I say nah. I mean, Mike was the one. It was his milk, as he said. The doctor said that. He said that he would want his milk so he can go to sleep at night. So Dion, what it do, man? He said, "What up, my outlaws?" He said, "I've never seen no jumper." Yeah, you don't. Well, you see, like Dion says, he's in the pop verse, but he watch a whole bunch of different stuff that I don't even watch, right? Because I've seen no jumper. Charleston White too. As a matter of fact, talk a little bit about Charleston White. Dion said, I looked at none of that garbage. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can name off some shit that you watched that I'd be like, that's garbage. I would never watch that.
You're right.
that's the beautiful thing about it, right? Don't make it like your taste is so much finer than mine. Like, I went to Cambridge and she said he had money. Mike had money problems. Mike was sleeping in the bed with little dudes, man. I don't care if he didn't do nothing to him. You don't drink wine with little boys and sleep in the bed with them. I'm sorry. Beauty said everyone that has money, they have killed. Not gonna say they don't conspire against us, but I'm not as big of an aluminum hat wearer as other people. I didn't see your call, Ewok. I wanted to talk to you about this latest thing with Bob Donovan, who is the state representative now, I believe. He caught again for corruption, basically. This is the same, we call him Peeping Tom. And when he was an alderman, he was battling Bob because he would always stage these spectacles. And he ran for mayor, I think twice, got his ass handed to him both times. So he's a state rep now, but he's gotten caught up in his latest scandal where he was using his campaign money or some of his political money to pay for an alternative apartment. Now, we know he had gotten caught up with some nonprofit stuff years ago. And initially we called him Peeping Tom because he was caught downtown at the gym in the bathroom, one of those gyms. And he was looking through the doors, watching men undress. And he had said he was doing this because he had heard a rumor that men were having sex in this locker room. So he was looking through the peephole, watching the men undress. He wasn't a cop. He was an alderman. So I don't know what he was going to do. What the fuck you going to do? But he was caught up again. And I just think you don't hear much about this. And people say, well, Kev, he's just a state rep now, which means he's in Madison. He's a career politician. Had any black politician been caught up, especially this many times, they would never shut the hell up about it. They would never shut the hell up about it. It just shows you the double standard that comes with how we are portrayed, how we are. They're always giving these ways out, like, oh no, well, no, he actually just misjudged, and nobody really makes a big deal out of it. If it's a black dude, hell, Trump might be talking about it on TV. Well, you heard about the guy in Wisconsin who's stealing money and getting permits. Like, do you remember Bob Donovan at one point was their hero, like the white people's hero? Yep. And so, yeah. So had you heard about this latest though? You ain't heard about this latest where he had the 2 apartments and all this shit.
No, you talking about did the dude have you talking about the dude that had the camera in the corner of the bathroom on the floor?
No,
something on the news.
No, Bob Donovan was in he was in this locker room.
I remember that. But
Oh,
this
he
was
didn't have
just,
no camera. He didn't have no camera. He was looking through a peephole and that was drilled in the thing.
hey, look, I just saw something on the news last night where one of these people got caught with a camera in the corner of the floor in the bathroom, right in front of the women and shit.
Was it a politician or a public official or who
Yeah,
we talking about?
it was some kind of public official.
Okay, I
I'm
didn't
not
see
sure. I'm not exactly sure. I think I was half asleep or some shit.
that. I didn't
But
see
I
that shit.
remember I kind of giggled. I was half asleep and I kind of giggled because they bent down in the corner to pick it up out the corner of the floor, and it wasn't nothing hiding or nothing. It was just a little black camera right there.
Oh, I gotta go look into that to see who it was. Ewok's on the line. Ewok, what's going on, man?
Yeah. You got me, Kev?
I got you. What's happening?
Okay. I was I'm not a conspiracy theorist type of cat either and shit. You know what I'm saying? But we don't just got millionaires no more, man. We got billionaires. And guess what? That's their money. They can do what they want to with their money. But we got Oprahs, we got Tyler Perry's, you know, we got Jay-Z, we got Beyonce. And ain't it a little weird that these people got billions? Would it be? It take $1,000 million to make you $1 billion, you know? Ain't it kind of, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want to, man. My bad, my guy just came in. Yeah, but how come I don't understand why don't nobody link up and be like, hey, let's take over this part, let's take over this piece, because they used to get us with the distribution and shit, right? They would allow nothing. You can't have none of that distribution money. But now it's streaming and shit. I just see it kind of weird that we got all these smart, intelligent people. And like I said, it's their money to do what they want to do with. But what if they linked up and be like, we're gonna take a piece of this. We're gonna take a giant piece out of this pie. And we want to know the recipe to the motherfucker how to make the pie while we doing it too. You know?
So I agree with you. We've said so many times that in this day and age, and that's a great point. We have not just black millionaires, we have black billionaires, right? Like, so
exactly.
So you take somebody like Byron Allen, who is already a media mogul, somebody like Jay-Z, Puffy, Oprah, and Magic. Just that consortium should be able to put together the blackest network you've ever seen, that's on par with NBC, ABC, CBS, because that group together is going to be able to raise capital. So in addition to the money that they have, they're going to be able to get investors. Now, even with Tyler Perry, this dude has this ginormous studio and all this money he has. Why are we depending on BET for the Soul Train Awards? And I don't know if this is not happening or what, but why haven't they said, all right, y'all don't want to do the Soul Train Awards? Viacom, let us buy Soul Train from y'all. Let us buy it and put it on ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to throw out there. You know, I got my mans in here and shit, but I was like, man, that's $1 billion is a lot of money, and we got multiple billionaires, multiple. So I just wanted to know, like I said, they don't owe us nothing.
No,
but how come they can't collaborate with some of their money? That's you know what I'm saying. What's keeping them from doing that? So I don't know if it's about who stole the soul or who sold the soul, or is it just that unattainable? And they say, niggas, we're gonna allow you to have $1 billion, but you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or what I'm trying to say, at least. You know?
I get you.
That's all.
I get you. No doubt. Great point. Shout out to you for calling in. That is a great point. If you just Kamara, it goes even deeper. She said Kobe Bryant. What was Kobe Bryant killed for? What was he killed for? Why would they kill Kobe? I'm asking the question. I mean, you know, did he have some secret? He was a basketball player who was retired. What did he have a formula on how to make the perfect NBA player? You see what I'm saying? He was in a helicopter with a pilot that shouldn't have been hired and flying in some conditions that you are not supposed to be flying a helicopter in. I'm not saying his death is justified. I'm saying it has been explained, right? And that was like destiny. Dion says, I watch stuff to stimulate your mind. And Dion, I've heard you call in and tell us about stimulating your mind before, or talking about $40 hollers and all these you know, your attitude towards women, hey, slap the bitch on the ass and tell her, here, take this dick. So we know what it's like when your mind gets stimulated. So ain't no telling what the hell you watching on YouTube. Erica Hunt said, I watch y'all. And we appreciate it, Erica. We appreciate everybody who watches the show. That's why I say, please share the show. We appreciate it. For people who say, I want to laugh a little bit, but I don't want to be on the floor the whole show. I don't want to see these depictions of us. Like I'm saying, if you watch All the Queen's Men, I have never seen men objectified in a movie like this before. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. It's a wild look, man. And when I see her talking to the men, just like, get your ass up on that stage and give my money. It's like, whoa, hold on. We got a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Beauty.
What's going on, Beauty?
Okay, so I'm saying us with money, meaning Tyler Perry wears dresses. He got money. He's under attack right now. Oprah's under attack. Bill Cosby just got out of jail, if he's out of jail.
Okay.
Everybody with money, include Michael Jackson, Prince, what's his name, at BET. All of these people all of a sudden just died out. So I'm not saying that I'm a Illuminati or anything. I'm not that. But I got common sense to understand. When you take money out of the Black community, which they have done, which way, how do you speculate as a American, because I don't even know if we African Americans, because Donald Trump didn't took all of our rights as Black people away from us. We still don't have the right to be human, as he says.
I've never heard him say that. I've never heard Donald Trump say that, but go ahead.
Well, he's peeling apart your amendments right now. He's bringing back, what is that? Oh my goodness. He's bringing back slavery. Let's just say that.
Donald Trump is bringing, hold on, I want everybody to be clear. Donald Trump is bringing slavery back for Black people in America. That's what he's doing.
Right. He's the preamble, anything that has us to have rights. He's peeling it apart. Like he dug up the fact that that young boy down in Mississippi that they tore his face up. His mama wanted him to be seen on TV. What was that boy's name?
Are you talking about Emmett Till?
Emmett Till. He brought all of that up. He anything about Black history, he's tearing it apart. He's saying that he want to know where Martin Luther King and all of these people. What happened to Martin Luther King? It had nothing to do with slavery. That's what he's saying. So don't get it twisted that they're killing all of these people. Deion Sanders is even under attack. How do you put he was one of the best running backs or whichever position he played in football. How do you put his two sons at the lowest position to get picked in the draft?
How
do you do that?
Beauty. Context is everything. Okay. Both of those boys are in the NFL, which is the highest level of football that you could possibly come up with. Now, Shador was drafted in the 5th round, which people might say he should have went earlier, but to get drafted into the National Football League, you have a greater odds at hitting the super mega lotto. So it's not something to say. Even the 5th round is like, you could say it was only 5th. Yeah, but how many people that have been drafted? His other son was not drafted. He was a free agent signing. So, and once again, I hear you on the fact that this country and white people in general have conspired against us historically. That's a proven fact.
And they're gonna continue to do that.
But some of those people you put in there, though, I don't know if it fits the bill. Like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson at that point was no longer Black to himself, right? Like, and I know people say no, because I've heard the minister speak about him and say he was a lovely person. But at that point, what was his impact upon us as Black people, where he was when he passed? And it's documented that he had developed a dependency on these drugs. The same thing with Prince.
The
Now
same thing with Whitney Houston, but you know,
but she was a cocaine addict.
Okay,
She
I
was a
guess I
cocaine
understand
addict.
your point. No, I don't believe. I just can't. I can't believe all of that.
You can't believe Whitney Houston was a cocaine
I
addict.
can't believe.
Why?
I can't believe
She was a regular
I
person.
can't believe that her daughter died the same way she died. I can't believe that.
So what you think happened? Somebody else killed him? Why?
I just don't believe the fact that she got all of this money and
That
she
is
just
hilarious.
decided that she was gonna crack herself out, make a movie, make herself look bad. I don't believe that.
Wait a minute.
Just like
Wait,
they
wait a minute.
not
Wait,
to crack down on jails, just like they get all of these drugs and guns and all of these things and how they kill people in jail. It don't make sense how they get the stuff in there. Somebody got to bring it in.
They keister it. Do you?
But it's happening, and it shouldn't be happening.
Well, it shouldn't be, but there are people who are willing to stuff dope up their anus and smuggle it into prisons.
In the country too.
Right. So I mean, you saying how is it getting here? People are bringing it here. People are taking it into the jails.
The cartels ain't just. It's just a lot, and I could go all over the map, which I do when I talk. It's just not one place. We as a black people, we had the guy Sweezy. I'm thinking like, why was he killed? They said he was the mayor of the city. Why would you want a young black man to be over the city of Milwaukee to stop the violence? Why would you want that?
You know we got a black mayor.
Gonna set him up. I don't even believe it was.
You know we have Beauty. You know we have an
elected.
We have an elected black mayor. You saying
that's okay?
But you saying why would you want?
It was a setup for him. It was a setup for that young man. That young man, they're gonna say he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, it's too much of that.
Okay.
It's too much of that. How do you become the mayor of the city, being a young black man? You got your son in pilot school, and all of a sudden you end up dead. That don't sound right.
Have you ever hung out in the streets? Have you ever really? Well, I'm just saying this because
I'm just saying
when you're in the streets, I'm gonna tell you something about the streets. When you're in the streets, there are certain things that happen in the streets. And if you're there, and I don't know what his involvement was with anybody or any beef or anything, but it is entirely possible that when you're dealing with the streets, something street happens to you. People get murdered in this city senselessly. He wasn't the only one who was killed that night. So, and if there was some sort of conspiracy in which he had some issues or whatever, because I've heard a million different stories, it's the same old story. I don't think it's somebody the man is upstairs in Madison saying, we can't let this guy become the mayor of Milwaukee.
Oh, of course not.
No.
Of course not.
If there's any conspiracy, it was a conspiracy done by other black people. I bet you there's no white people involved.
You have to really know him to know where that. You gotta really know him to know where that originated from, right? Like years ago when he was rapping, he really did run for mayor.
Right.
So that's where that started. You know what I mean? Like when you keep throwing he's the mayor and how could he get killed and like he wasn't really, you know what I mean? This is just, it's like a nickname.
Right.
That's it.
I get that.
You know what I mean? And senseless things happen to people, like Kev said, when you out here in the streets, you know what I mean? Like even at the clubs, it be shit that be happening at the clubs. It be people that ain't even in the shit that catch strays, you know what I mean? And they lose their lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different stuff that could have happened that night. We don't know. So that ain't nothing I really would like to talk about. But I'm just saying the different stuff that happened here. Like you ain't even got to be no street nigga, and you go out to the club, street shit happen to you.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean? You could be anybody. You could go to church every Sunday and go to the bar at night and something happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Upstanding citizen. Something could happen anywhere you go. You could be somewhere pumping gas. Like, so that could happen to anybody, really. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to make the point that I'm not disagreeing with you that whenever a black person elevates, there is almost instantaneously an agenda against him or her. We know that. I don't want anybody to think, what Kev talking about? No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, when I look at somebody like Martin Luther King Jr., there is a conspiracy behind his death. Fred Hampton Jr., Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., absolutely a conspiracy. Malcolm X, absolutely a conspiracy. The list goes on and on for people who are actually making an impact. But it's not usually somebody who could dunk a basketball who they say we're gonna get rid of this, unless it's like a crime thing. Like he fucked over the wrong people, not necessarily the FBI getting together saying we got to get rid of this nigga, like they did with some of those other brothers I named. Now let me go to the chat room. This is Dion. Shout out to Dion. He says they can't do that because the white establishment won't allow them to. I think he's talking about criticizing Bob Donovan, who is a white man. Dion said they probably billionaires in assets, not Elon Musk money or Jeff Bezos. ENC Jordan is in the chat room. Shout out to ENC Jordan. He said, I bought a bottle of Woodford Reserve watching the show. Love y'all. Shout out to you, man. If anybody got a bottle, man, pull up, right? Roll up. You see Kamar roll up all the time, right? People be like, man, let me hit you. He said,
bring the party with me.
Said motherfuckers don't like us. That's why I hired an American black woman and a Puerto Rican and a Nigerian this week. LOL. He said,
my goodness. Let me get off this one.
He said that nigga Mike looked like a late age white woman. He's talking about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, did he have vitiligo? I don't know. Michael Jackson is so sad because to me it was just such a loss. You think of what he really could have been, like what he was. I can't say could have been, like he underachieved. Michael Jackson was a phenomenal entertainer. And he could do it all, but somewhere along the way, he lost his way. Like, it was just shit that was like, whoa, you done lost your sense of self somewhere in here. Now, that's what the song Man in the Mirror is really about. He's like, who is that that's looking back at me in this mirror? I don't even recognize myself no more. ENC Jordan says, Beauty is A1 since day one, level 10, conspiracy theorist. She sounds like my grandma. Is from Louis. She sounds like his grandmama who's from Louisville, Mississippi. Sharita Shaw says, so you think only poor people sabotage their lives? Right. Well, yeah. No, that's a good point, Sharita. Like when she was saying, well, Bill Cosby and these kinds of people, I don't believe that shit about Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC. Research it. The group he had failed. They couldn't secure the buy. Bill Cosby went to jail because he was dropping roofies on white women from the 60s through the 70s that looked like West German pole vaulters. This dude he loved white, like Earl say, he loved white milk. And it came back to bite him in his ass, and rightfully so. He said Kevin looked confused as hell when Beauty rants. LOL. No, I rocked with Beauty. She been supporting Outlaw Radio for a long time. But if you listen and you've heard Beauty talk, you know she gonna throw everything on the board. Like, here, let's get it all out there, and you just got to kind of sort through it. Shout out to Beauty. She been rocking with us for a long time. Shout out to Mama Jenkins in the chat room. She said watching and listening to. Appreciate you, Mama Jenkins. Appreciate you being here. Sharita Shaw said, right, Kamar, he wasn't really the mayor. But no, let's not do this. Or let's not let this be, for people to misinterpret this. That dude was, I've said this. I said he was the Mac Mall of Milwaukee. Now, a lot of people don't know who I'm not Mac Mall, but what's my man name? From Mac Dre. Thank you. Brain fart. He was the Mac Dre of Milwaukee. Now, some people said he's somebody else, and people can metaphor.
I mean, he was a lot, but that was my point, part of my point. I just said that because, I felt like she kept saying the mayor of the Milwaukee, if he was the mayor of the Milwaukee, if he was the mayor, and you know what I'm saying? And it really, I just wanted to make it a real thing. Like, he wasn't really the mayor, you know what I'm saying? But he was our mayor. We called him that.
The mayor. And so Kamar, the funny thing is when he was shot, there was a brother that I seen, and he was on the news when he said, if he'd have just turned around and the shooter seen he was there, they wouldn't have shot. And I was thinking in my mind, like, I don't know about that. Unless he knew, like if he looked, oh, that's my cousin. Oh, yeah, what's up? Now, I don't know. But it's a statement on how important he was to people in this city. And we know a lot of people just can't wait to jump on a bandwagon after somebody died. People was telling stories like, yeah, man, you showed me so much love. And then you find out they only met him like twice. And he probably said something positive to him, but after that, they felt like, hey, I'm cool with dude, right? Like that's my man. Right. Miss Tony said Michael and Prince were phenomenal businessmen. But yeah, once again with Prince, they killed him because he knew all about the music business. First of all, Prince wasn't really putting out hit music like that and hadn't been for a very long time. When he perished, he was still putting out music, but it wasn't what made his career. He was rich off, like you said, he was a good businessman. So he managed to say, I got a lot out of it, and I should have got more, you know what I mean? But I got a lot out of it. So, you know, I just when I look at Black culture and people say, because we have a righteously earned paranoia. We should be paranoid. Because when it comes to us, especially with success, they are going to conspire against us. Now, I don't know what kind of conspiracy could come if Puffy was in on this big, huge network with Jay-Z and all these people we talking about, when he caught these charges, all you had to do was buy him out, right? Like Jay-Z made Tidal. Like Jay-Z came up with Tidal, which was supposed to be a wave of ownership for artists. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't able to get it going. Like they said, it hasn't been profitable because he gets killed by Spotify and all these other places. I don't stream music. I don't purchase stream music like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But people who do it, I don't know if Tidal is their first go-to, but yeah, I think he's trying to sell it now because it just hasn't been profitable. So once again, I think it would have to be a joint venture where you say, hey, because one thing about rich people is when they invest or when they start a business, usually they don't have to spend their own money because they are celebrities. They can appeal to investors. So it's like, we didn't even have to use our money. We done put together $2 billion in, you know what I'm saying, equity. So let me catch the chat room. Shout out to Sair. What up, Sair? He says, Sedan Smith, this is Outlaw Radio. Hit up Kevin Barnes about getting on there. We welcome that brother if he wants to come on and kick it with the old.
I see him at the Phoenix all the time.
Okay.
I don't know when I see him.
Well, I may have invited him before. He was supposed to come on one time. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes people are supposed to come and we don't end up making that final connection to get it done. What up with you, Sair, man? Appreciate you, my brother. It's Outlaw Radio, Who Stole the Soul, Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Mama Jenkins in the chat room, she says, I was wondering, did they get the killer of Tweezy and the other guy yet? I usually keep up with the news, but I haven't heard as of yet. Is there a reward for someone turning in the killer? At first, they said they had arrested someone. I haven't kept up with it either, Mama Jenkins, so I'm not up on all of the details. But they said that they had arrested someone, but I haven't heard or seen anything else. Only thing I've seen is the things that have come out in the streets. Like, you know, what I've heard different theories in the streets, so I don't know. Vince says, bottom line, when Allah calls your number, ain't nothing nobody can say, do, or pray about can keep them alive. Okay. She said, I think he been sold Tidal. I just knew that because Nicki Minaj is on these rants right now, and she's going off and saying Jay-Z owes her $200 million because she was one of the stakeholders. And then I hear the other brother who's involved, I can't remember what his name was. He responded to her saying, like, you lucky you got what you got out of the love he has for you because you didn't even sign your paperwork. You never signed the paperwork we was asking you to sign, and that's why you didn't get all of the money you thought you were supposed to get. So Tidal ended up being a mess, man. It ended up being a mess. He says, this is
Hey, I use Tidal too.
Said Nicki Minaj reportedly suing Jay-Z about Tidal. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Dion,
I use Tidal too.
Hey, man, I missed you. I ain't missed you guys Monday, but y'all was talking about guns, and I can't own no gun, so ain't no need of me talking about no shit that I just can't relate to. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, what I was about to say, but yeah, you remember Prince went by the symbol for a little while. Remember, he dropped his name Prince. He went by the symbol because his name was tied up, I think, with Warner Brothers, and he had to get his shit back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, with Prince, and I'm going to tell you another thing, though. Prince was a smart guy because Prince was like, so we were taught that, let me see, how did it go? He said that the American Revolution was in 1776, but George Washington wasn't elected president until, I think, 1789, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I have to look at it. So who was the president before that, though? You feel what I'm saying? So, and then he was talking about them chemtrails and all type of shit. So he was like, I don't know, man. He was ahead of time. And sometimes, and then like we knew about Michael Jackson weird shit, but this was like out of nowhere with Prince. And to be found in the elevator, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this was out of what?
Well, you said it's out of nowhere, but the truth is, I think a month prior, 2 months prior, when he actually perished on the plane from an overdose, and they had to make an emergency. Well, there's documents that say his jet had to make a private landing, and they had to resuscitate him because of an overdose. So one thing they say is he hit it well, but he actually had an addiction to painkillers.
Substance abuse.
Right.
Substance abuse problem.
Well,
and then, we talk about our billionaires, but them people are billionaires as far as like with assets. Like if they probably looked at our assets, they'd be like, oh, you might be worth maybe $300,000 with the house and, savings and insurance and other stuff. But I ain't got $300,000 where I could just go grab it. You know what I'm saying? So now Elon Musk them got billion where motherfuckers be like, bring me $12 billion in cash and all $100 bills. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z and Oprah, they ain't, they got money, but they ain't got that type of money. Washington Post money and shit like that. And that's another thing too. Old girl, I was listening to, because I heard you talk about what I listened to on the pod. This is what I listen to, like you said about yours. I like to listen to my prison stories with the guys. That takes me away. But most of the time I'm listening to Roland Martin, Karen Hunter, Clay Kane show, listen to XM Sirius, XM Satellite Radio, listen to Tone Talks, Michi X, Levette Carnell, I can't think of the other guy. He's gay. Don Lemon. I listen to shit that's gonna stimulate my mind and make me think. You know what I'm saying? Like this gerrymandering shit.
You get like stimulated by watching the Prison Brothers. That stimulates your mind when you watch the.
I mean, it like I like to listen to the stories that they tell. You know what I'm saying? Like one guy, he did 33 years. The other guy, he did 15. The other guy did 9. And y'all listen to them. You know what I'm saying?
So let me tell you this. None of that is more refined or higher quality than the shit we talked about. Some dudes sitting there.
Charleston White and No Jumper.
Wait, hold on. So the dudes are sitting on No Jumper, who a lot of times are ex-cons, are dudes who are telling jail stories, telling street stories, are the same as the dudes sitting in jail talking about it. Like, what's more?
No, these guys are out of jail and they just talking about.
So then it's the same shit. So it's the same shit. Yeah. So why is one more?
Adam just don't stimulate me.
Oh, so it's the person, Adam. That's who you got a problem.
Yeah, Adam just don't. I don't fuck with him.
I'll tell you this: he is a weirdo. He's a cuck, and I'm not. So let me even. I like that. That's a good point. I'm not an Adam 22 fan, right? And I'm not a religious No Jumper viewer, but I have looked at it before. So thank you for for saying that, because I'm not really keen on Adam either. Like, and then the whole thing with Whack, and it's just a bunch of circular snitching, and everybody's doing the same. It's messy. It's like Housewives for men.
Yeah, like years ago, I always said, like, I don't too much like rich people. You know what I'm saying? And like, it ain't that I hate them or nothing like that, but they don't have nothing in common with me. So I never was one of the type of people like to look at what's going on in their life, know what Beyonce, Jay-Z, whoever, you know what I'm saying? None of them doing, because we share no commonality. You know what I'm saying? That's just like I was listening to, what's his name? Dr. Khalid Muhammad, may he rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? and he was talking about how Ice Cube was fucking with him, but then when he put that fire on him, Ice Cube started melting. You know what I'm saying? And I've been really interested in this gerrymandering shit going on with Texas over there with what's his name, Greg Abbott or whatever.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
once again,
you know,
that's good, but I mean, the way you made it seem is like you was on a whole other level. Like I listen to things.
Well, I mean, you know,
it's all the same shit, man. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit. Now, your opinion is your opinion. So let me catch the chat room right quick, Dion. Sair's in the chat room. He says Jay-Z sold title for like 300 million. Some people say. I know that there's a deal on the table, but from the story I was hearing was that some people were upset with him saying, why would you sell this? And he was looking at it like, dude, it's been hell keeping this shit afloat and it's really not profitable. So I'm going to just cut my losses and take this generational wealth package. And as far as assets, when it comes to our celebrities and people who are prominent, I would agree with you that when they say assets, some of it's not all liquid or some of it's liquid, right? So, but I would say between Oprah, Magic, and just Byron Allen, there's enough cash there. They are individuals who can say, I got $7-8 million. Oprah has hundreds of millions of dollars. She can say, I have $200 million for this project. Would she? No. It's probably not the smartest thing to do, but she could. But I do understand what you're saying when it comes to assets. Now, this is Sair. He said, no, she didn't sign paperwork. Talking about Nicki Minaj. He says she fucking takes what she can and keep moving. Why lose everything in court? They gonna dog her out with delays in court fees. Well, I don't think she got the same kind of attorney money that Jay-Z got. So this is gonna be a long, drawn out battle, like you say. I hope she by the time year 5 of this lawsuit will come out, because her music, music is got a time, and then as an artist, you got to find something else to do. Records don't sell like they used to, right? He said, Mama Jenkins said, I hope when they arrest the person responsible for the murders that they also arrest the motherfuckers that is housing the killers. They absolutely will, Mama Jenkins. They absolutely will. They will. Whoever's harboring them is going to catch the business for sure. And since, it's Wednesday, I seen something else, Kamar, because we talked about this before, but y'all watching this, something from the Podverse, Trick Daddy, right? Not really a great fan of Trick Daddy as a rapper, right? And I've heard some of his interviews and he's many. Some of the stuff is just crazy, right? But everybody's all up in arms because Trick Daddy said he wouldn't date a woman under 35 years old because women over 35 are damaged goods.
I can agree with it.
You agree with him. Okay. Why do you agree with him? Why do you agree with him?
Because, I say that I call the women like that, like my age, I call them that buggy that's in the grocery store where you see the bent up cans and the fucked up bread. Like because the reason I would say that because they have life experience. Now, not all of them, but unless they were able to heal from those life experiences, and if you dealt with 1 man, 2 man, 3 men, how many ever, and you had bad experiences with those men, that doesn't necessarily mean you won't have a bad experience with me or another man that come across your path. So sometimes a lot of these women, they are damaged goods in a way, but the ones that are healed and understand that, hey, like when we had that last one, the old girl was like, shit, I picked the wrong nigga, plain and simple. Some of them do pick the wrong nigga, you know what I'm saying? But some of them don't understand how to let that hurt go. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I call it what they call self-sabotage. They'd be like, if you got a nigga that he ain't fucking with no other bitch, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, you know it's something that he doing because ain't no nigga never been like that with you before. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes women will self-sabotage their relationship, but I don't think that all women are damaged goods, but it's some women that is damaged goods because they haven't confronted those demons and not healed yet from the transparencies of their past. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes the shit that you have been through. You feel what I'm saying? Even men too, sir.
He got his hand up. Come on.
Hey, I was just gonna say I agree with that. Only difference is I think we all damaged goods, like because we all done been in different relationships. We all done ran through different people, and you know what I mean. Had fucked up shit happen in different relationships. Fucked up shit happen outside of relationships. We don't watch people go through some bullshit, all kind of fucked up shit over life. I just think we all fucked up. So should everybody be looking for younger people then?
Well, that was the next part I was gonna say is, and I'm not single, and neither are you, Kamar and Dion, depending on which show he's speaking on. Might or may or may not be, but I wouldn't at this age. I wouldn't say, well, I wouldn't talk to a woman if I was in that, the dating. I'm not gonna date a woman over 35 because I think to me at 50, and he's older than me.
Nobody under 35.
Right. Okay. Right. Like we all have the things we want. Like there's some, what they call deal breakers. I don't want no this, that, and the third. But I think the way it was framed. Well, yeah. I mean, somebody I could relate to. Yeah. Or somebody who can relate to my perspective. You a little bit too young. You can't remember certain shit that I still, some of my principles are built on. So I wouldn't put too much into it, but I think it's indicative of the silliness, the things that are said that come out with men and women nowadays, right? And of course, sisters went in on Trick Daddy because Trick Daddy has lupus, and I've heard him come on to his show, interviews and say, like, I won't take the lupus medicine. I'd rather just I smoke cocaine, blunts, and cigarettes because I'd rather do that than take the medicine for it. He's an older dude, but I think I'm gonna start calling this the Jim Jones method. Say the wildest, most crazy shit, people are going to react. And you got your clicks, you got your viral thing, your name is hot. And there's money to be made when you have that demand, Kamar. He can go to his whatever podcast, his show, I got my pots, and it's gonna generate, so it's more money. So I don't want us to get caught up in it, but even the sentiment that you're damaged goods if you're over 35. I think you made the greatest point to say, we all damaged goods. I mean, by 35, you pretty much, unless you never jumped off the porch, you got some miles on you, right?
Right. You fucked up too, bro.
Especially the brothers I know who live past 35. We all resto mods, right? We're all old school rides that somebody had to go get. You need some paint. I get the frame redone, right? Like, so, yeah, man. Sair's in the chat room. He says they say Oprah won't open the gate in Hawaii to let people to higher grounds in those floods. Wow. Is that true? That would make her a shitty person, right? But does she care? Right? She probably didn't even be there half the time. Like, no, don't open that gate. You ain't even here. Right? Talking on your Ring alarm. Sarita Shaw said, don't nobody want Trick Daddy sick ass anyways. Well, I beg to differ, Sarita, because he got money and he has fame. So I think he can go out. He can do that, Kamar, because he got money. He got notoriety. He can go in the club because where you going? Where you going to look for women at? Right? Like now, a 35-year-old woman who's a consistent club hopper, I might agree she might be damaged goods because to stay in the streets and to be in the club for 35 years straight, yeah, you done been through some things, right? Like you done been around the block a couple times. So you just like, and brothers are the same. If you've been in the bars for 35 years and you still sit, yeah, you done seen it come and go, right? Like,
you wouldn't be single right now if wasn't nothing wrong with you.
It's something wrong with him. I'm trying to how we put things.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like a perfect motherfucker would have been caught up, locked. You know what I mean? Locked
Not
in.
Not perfect, but somebody who's balanced. Somebody who's a little bit more balanced. Somebody who's found a lane. I want to say.
Well, I'm just talking about, like, you know what I mean, to be somebody and figure ain't nothing wrong with you must be perfect then. You'd have been snatched up. You know what I'm saying?
They say, why you ain't got no man? And women be like, because I don't want no motherfucking man.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want no goddamn man. Dion, are you still with us? Okay, because I had a question for Dion.
Yeah, I got you muted. I'm muted.
But answer this question and then mute me back. Now you said you said you don't agree. Is your boo over 35?
Hell yeah, me and my girl, she's 46, I'm 47.
So okay, then you said you agree with Trick Daddy. I'm trying to make it make sense.
I mean, but she was single 4 years before she started dating me. So she had some time to heal. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, she was single how long?
She told me 4 years.
And how old is she now?
46.
So she was 42, but she was 42 before she took a break. That's way over 35.
You single for 4 years? We talking about relationships. I got her on video.
Oh, I didn't want to
get
his ass
for 4 years. She said, yeah.
Okay, but she healed quick. So did she go to camp or did she go to like a meditation? Did she learn yoga? Because 4 years is a lot of healing to fix up for 20 years prior to that.
She said she got a strong cutoff game. She ain't for the shit.
Okay. She
told me if I call her a motherfucker, it's over.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing she don't listen to the show consistently. She can't dump your ass. I
gotta walk light around her, boy. I'll be walking on my tippy toes.
Yeah,
but play her some
of your greatest hits, and I bet you she leave your ass tonight.
Hey, what I'm about to say, I'm kind of damaged though a little bit from my last relationship because, like, I always felt like say if I do something for her, and I'll be like, I feel like it's never good enough. You know what I'm saying? Because the woman that I was with previously before her, she always felt like the shit I did wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do more. But I'm like, damn, you don't do shit for me. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That shit stuck with a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So she be like, and then with Tiffany, that's her name. Tiffany is not materialistic. You know what I'm saying? But I'm materialistic. You know what I'm saying? I like to have Trues, J's, whatever fly out there. You don't catch me in some funky shit. You know what I'm saying? But she's not into that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we kind of matched, though, and I'm kind of more outspoken than she is, though.
Right. You know what, Dion, that's fine. I didn't really need to know y'all love story or nothing. I was just trying to make a point that no, that's good. Congratulations that you found someone that you have some compatibility with. What I was just trying to say was that you agree with Trick Daddy off top and was like, yeah, if you 35, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you broken, you damaged goods. And then you said, my girl 46. And it was like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. Just from life experiences, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. So I don't know if Trick Daddy, what you call them broken goods, motherfuckers just an experienced life, and they just ain't with no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But some women is overboard with it. Like I was looking at something on Facebook the other day, and this girl was like, if a nigga can't pay all my bills, if he giving me 50-50, then there's gonna be another nigga that giving me the other 50 that he can't. Like who live? And then you got real women that really think like that. Like first of all, you had bills before I met you. First of all. Second of all, you was doing that shit alone before me and you got together. Just like I'm doing my shit alone. So what the fuck makes you think I'm going to pay all your bills? No, we going to be in this motherfucker 50-50. They be trying to do 70-30, but we going to be 50-50 though. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to make a down payment on the house when we decide to move, but you're going to have to help me pay that mortgage and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the lesson here is that everything ain't for everybody. And if that's not what you do, like if that's not your flavor. So if you a man who say, nah, I don't do 70-30, then don't waste that individual's time and don't waste your own time. Like be transparent. Be transparent off top and say, no, I ain't doing 70-30.
Kim said don't waste your time, babe. He said if I can't do 70-30, don't waste your time.
I'm not right. If that's what she wants, Dion, I'm saying if that's her thing,
I can't do it.
Well, then what we doing then? Then what we doing? Because I ain't going. So we got to be careful with what labels we put on shit. Beauty said, "Ooh, I think she's talking about Trick saying women over 35 is damaged goods." Sair said he called that the snapback. The shop back. That's that buggy in the grocery store. He called it the shop back. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up, man. Beauty said, "I wish men would just be stable."
What that mean?
I don't know. Because I don't know what kind of men she deals with or that she's around. So I don't know. I don't know what stability looks like from a feminine perspective. Aside from somebody saying you got a job, you got somewhere to stay, you got a car, taking care of your kids. I thought that was stability. She said, okay. She said, okay, y'all, you all touched everything. She said, Michael Jackson's style. What about his style? Because I know after Hell, when he came back for Bad in '88, nobody was wearing that shit on the streets. Like, who the fuck is gonna wear that shit? I didn't see nobody unless they was an impersonator. Whereas prior to that, you seen brothers with beaded jackets and Thriller jackets and penny loafers. Once he came back in Bad looking like a beige white woman, a well-tanned white woman, nobody was really emulating his style. You got ribbed. Beauty said, I don't think men should date their age 2 years older or younger. I'm not putting any kind of parameters or boundaries on anyone. If you prefer somebody's younger, there are a lot of people who say that, because there's a lot of women who say, I don't mess with no old man. They say it. They was like, I got to have me a young man because I'm still rambunctious, right? And let's be honest, man, we get older, Father Time get to whispering in our ear. You ain't no spring chicken no more. You can't really be swinging off light, ceiling fans and shit in the room no more and all that. You ain't got all that young dude energy. You like, hey, look, what time is it? So, and if a woman, if that's what she bases her relationship on is, hey, I want to just make sure somebody blows my back out every night. You probably need a younger person to do that, because older people got shit to do. Like, I got to go to work in the morning.
I know, on my mama. And then sometimes, shit, that motherfucker, I'm only good for one back blowout, and after that, it might be done for
one back blowout.
My back blew out. Shit, my knee. I be catching Charlie horses and all types of shit. Like, I be telling her, and that's another thing I like about Becky. She don't be expecting all that shit though. She be like, just hold me. You want to just
Oh my God. This boy, just be careful, Dion, because you are known for giving up too much information. I know you will get graphic in a hurry, and that hold me thing is a trap for men. That's a booby trap for you. Come on, y'all.
I like the cuddle though, Kev. I bet you do.
I bet you do.
I'm a Scorpio. You a Scorpio too? You should be affectionate.
Listen, it's a trap in that you know what's going to eventually happen if we lay here with our bodies touching, right?
It can't happen all the time, bro. That man is dead.
And that is the night when you let her go slowly, like, the motherfucker talking about cuddle. So I was trying to, man, you play your ass over there. Where the remote at, right? Like, it happens, man. I'm just saying. It's a trap, y'all. It's just,
that night you just play it off like, hey, where the remote at?
Why don't you give me a back rub? Come on. He gonna start at the top of the shoulders. You know where your hands are ending at. I didn't say rub my booty. I just figured, I massage that too. Man, if you good at that, shout out to you, man. Because most brothers be like, man, shit, I'm finna go to sleep, man. You fucking playing with me. Vince said, after my marriage, 5 out of 5 women that I encountered have been sexually abused. Damn. Holy crap. 5 out of 5 women that you met had been sexually abused. Whoo. That's a statement in itself, Kumar. 5 out of 5? Where was you at? Like, what bar was you? Was you at Gallus hanging out? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You muted, Kumar.
That's traumatized. I went through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you said what? You broke up.
That's traumatizing meeting 5 women that been through that shit.
Yeah. And to deal with one person who has some issues with that is a boatload, because you're going to have to deal. Like, if you say, no, I want to be with you, you're going to have to deal with it. So 5 out of 5, damn, that's crazy. Like, you really have a type. I mean, I like to know the age ranges. And I'm going to say this too. I think the definition of sexual abuse has changed. I think some people learned later on in their life that things that they had encountered maybe had been sexual abuse, and they didn't know it until they heard somebody say it, right? Like, so, and this is why I'm saying this, because in the 80s, and, we grew up with the little girls on the block, you play hide and go get it, right? Some little girl let you in the house. Y'all, we was little kids, and whatever happened. And so some of those experiences can be, if a female or male looks back and said, no, I remember this happened and I really didn't want to do it, but I was scared to say no because I was playing hide and go get it. But if you look at it now, you said that is sexual abuse, that's sexual trauma. So I think those definitions have changed a little bit. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of women can look back to a certain incident. It's as simple as a dude being inappropriate with her, just, what's up, baby? How you doing? And grabbing her by the waist. And I know it gets worse, Kumar, but I'm just saying, the spectrum of sexual abuse has expanded now, as opposed to like, well, did he rape you? No, but he grabbed me up. I didn't want him touching me, and he was touching me. Yo, that ain't shit. But that's sexual abuse. That's sexual harassment. So, you know, those had to be some interesting stories, Vince. He said there are too many damaged women in this country. Too many damaged women, Vince says. Heal thyself. Oh, damaged. What about damaged brothers, Vince? Is it too many of those as well? I mean, you know, Zaire said, did he ever give his wife the divorce? Who we talking about? Who we talking about? Is somebody who give who the divorce? Zaire. Sarita Shaw said, that's what I'm saying, Kamar. Why is he single? Said he won't divorce his wife, but that's been begging to divorce him. Yeah, and that's what the show makes it look like. Like he has this wife who he's supposedly not with, but he like manages her, like he's over her, anybody she date and all that. And she's over 35. So I don't know that's what we know of love and hip hop. I don't know what the real story is. We had another caller call you live on Outlaw Radio. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Kev, this is Vince.
What it do, Vince? What's on your mind?
Oh, in reference to you'll be surprised how many women in our community have been sexually abused by a male, whether it be her father, mother's boyfriend, or whatever. It's off the chain. So the women that I'm talking about, they were from either Texas, Milwaukee, different places. They were well-to-do women. Some of them have been sexually assaulted when they were in the military, by jobs, by family members. And the one story that got me, I called back and checked up on a friend that we became friends, and she was in Chicago. And she said that she had fallen. I said, well, you know, what happened? She said, well, the good thing is that everything that had happened to me, I can no longer remember it. And she says the bad thing about it is she continually has suicidal ideations. And I've met quite a few women in Milwaukee who have been sexually assaulted, who are struggling with what they've been through. It's unimaginable. I mean, do a check in your neighborhood and see how many sex offenders are in your neighborhood. It's unimaginable.
Yeah, that database is many.
It's for real. And here's the irony: is my oldest sister was sexually assaulted as a kid, and what I learned in grad school about the brain is that it's almost like when you're beating somebody half to death and they're just sitting there and they're not moving, because the brain, that part of the brain shuts down and they can no longer feel it. If they could, they would die. So my sister, when I was in this class, I took out of the class and I called my sister. I said, his name was Mr. Shaw. Did he touch you when kids? And she says, yeah. Here's the thing about it, is that the traumatizing part of it is that a lot of women or people who've been sexually abused, some of them don't remember it. A lot of them don't remember it. And that's why things happen with women sometimes, and they trigger and they go off the chain because something in their brain reflects upon what had happened to her. My sister says, yes, he did touch me. She also said it wasn't until I was in my 40s when my best friend told me that her daughter had been sexually assaulted. She said at that very moment, everything came back to her and she can see everything and feel what he did. She could even smell his stench. So I said that to say this, is that we're dealing with people that are out there that don't even know what happened to them. They're just being triggered. It's very sad that a lot of our women have been abused like that, and as children.
Okay, so and that's like what I said, that a lot of people may have experiences, and since now the definitions have expanded, they now are realizing, hey, I was a victim. I didn't know that I was a victim. Like now I'm starting to, like you said, she heard a story from somebody else and it triggered her to say the same shit happened to me. And if you're classifying her as an abuse victim, then I'm a victim as well. So I asked you about the brothers though. Now let me get to the chat room because it's building up. Give me a second, Vince. She said, this is Beauty saying to Dion, that ain't no time to heal. 4 years. She said, so you in competition from your prior relationship, you haven't grown. Yeah, wasn't really a girlfriend dude like that before I met my wife. So wasn't really no exes I wasn't traumatized by anybody. So she the one who traumatized me. Get my ass kicked tonight. Beauty said you have to be married to have a wife to get experiences and have a wife to get experiences. And she said this in capital letters, y'all. A man takes care of a household and the woman is your helpmate. Well, that's old school thinking. That's Old Testament. That's Old Testament math. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is my when women say that, because first of all, what is your definition of taking care of the house? And who are you or why are you qualified to tell a man what he should do? You don't know. You're not a man. You have no clue what a man does. But I will say this. Women, especially black women, hang their hats on the fact that nowadays they have more education. They have more career equity. They have more money. They have more credit. They have all these different things. So if that's your position, me as a man, far be it from me to rob you of your ability to contribute. Now, if I was a multi-millionaire, I would say, baby, you don't have to worry about no bills because I got it. But at the same time, I don't want her to sit idle. There's no need for you to be a housewife when, hey, you have a bachelor's degree, you have an MBA, you have a PhD, you have career aspirations. If I take that away from you sooner or later, the way women work is when we do start to get old, she's going to say, I gave up my whole life for you. At one point, I wanted to be an attorney. And I gave it all up for you because I loved you. So now it's like you owe me this debt. No. Go on fly, baby. Go on fly. And if I ain't rich, then it's 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40. Sometimes it's 40-60. Roles change, man. I wasn't attracted to no woman who wanted to live and be a housewife from the 50s. One of the things I was attracted to most about my wife is that she was a sister who said, nah, I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to make me some bread. I'm about this money. So it was like, all right, I can rock with that. So, a man takes care of a household. A household got inside and outside. So which one does the man take care of? He supposed to cook dinner, wash dishes, fold the clothes, cut the grass, shovel the snow, paint the windows, fix the cars. This is Superman who does not exist. Vince says once one of my ex-wives was assaulted by a father. My oldest sister was sexually assaulted. Damn, man. Ocean Sheila Dodd. How you doing, my sister from the Crusaders? She said, peace and blessings. How you doing? Beauty said the man is still the head of the household, period. I agree with that, but it depends on what your definition of head of the household is. I like to feel like as a man, I'm respected as the man of the house, but I'm not dominating. I'm not, shut your ass up. I'm talking, right? Well, I get the big piece of chicken. Like it ain't head of the household like that, where I got to swing my weight around. I'm lucky that I have a woman who says, no, I defer to my husband on important decisions. Like, well, let me talk it over with my husband as opposed to, he don't know shit. I don't need, because there are some women out there, but like, he don't know nothing anyway. He do what I tell him to do. You know what I'm saying? There's some households like that. So I agree with you, and we should be, the head of the household. She said, this is a man's world. Yeah, but JB said it wouldn't be a thing without a woman's touch. See? Take two to tango. It takes two to tango. Mama Jenkins said, look, I'm old school, 73 years old, and you don't spread your legs with everyone that you say hi to. I hung out and men approach me time and even ask for a bed date, but you have to leave something for his imagination. My mother told us girls at an early age, it's best to be a prostitute than a hoe because a hoe gives it away and a prostitute make it work for her. Okay. I always thought a slut gave it away for free and a hoe was a professional. I thought that's what my mother used to say. So let's give it away. Hoes charge for it. She said it would be nothing without a woman or a girl. Yeah. Nothing without a woman or a girl. She said, this is Beauty. Not even close, Kevin. Not close to what? What we talking about, Beauty? That whole trick daddy thing is crazy though, Kamar. I don't, would you, if you were single, would you put a limit on it? Say you met a 34-year-old girl who was mentally, emotional, because some people got an old soul. Would you give her a chance or would you say, I can't fuck with you?
I think my preference is somebody more than my age. You know what I mean? 40 to 50, maybe even a little more. I mean, because it's more about age to me. Like, can you compliment me? Can I compliment you? Are we into the same type of stuff? Do we got the same type of lifestyle? And usually when them big age differences come, the lifestyles tend to clash. Usually the old motherfucker trying to be young and do all this young shit that you ain't got no business doing no more. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that. You just got to know what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're looking for. That might be what you want.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But no, I want somebody who I feel like I could be comfortable around, who could keep me comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They done been battle tested. I know if something happens, she can handle shit. You know what I'm saying? I could trust her to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd rather have somebody closer to my age. I don't want nobody young. Now I got to teach them. You know, man, fuck that.
Some of these young ass girls can teach you though to keep it real. They freaky out here.
They want to wear the hair. Hey, look, they want to wear the hair, the eyelashes, the makeup and shit. I ain't into that.
Okay, right. Well, okay. The aesthetics, the
I ain't into all that shit.
Yeah. And you know, maybe though some brothers might say, I'm not into it, but I love her so much that I'm gonna try to fit into her world, which is, Kamar, when you end up being like, now you know goddamn well you ain't got no business with your old ass out here, right?
Motherfuckers start calling you a sucker and shit. You with that little girl, sucker ass nigga doing all that to hang out with that little girl.
Got my old ass up in the bar wrestling with some young Thundercat about you.
Niggas gonna roast you.
You got your ass, you got a bodysuit on. I'm up here, and you know these young wolves, man. They gonna jump. Hey, hey, young man, get your old ass whooped on Facebook.
I ain't going through that shit no more, man. I went through all that shit, banging with niggas. They want this, man. Fuck all that.
Never done it. Never ever done it.
Give me somebody my age. She know what she want. I know what I want. Let's get at it.
As long as y'all compatible, I wouldn't care how old you is. You know, E40 said find somewhere where they love you at. That was one of the dopest things I ever heard E40 say. So you better get somewhere where they love you at. Brenda Peterson, she says, sorry, Kev, I'm just logging on. We all over the place like bird shit tonight. It's Wednesday night. It was Who Stole the Soul. We've had a conversation about what has happened to our cultural epicenter, in which at one point soul and soul power, that whole concept of this unique matrix, this thing that we have within us to innovate culturally, anything culturally, biologically, scientifically, whatever it is. Black people, we put just a savoir-faire on it that makes it into something else. And it used to be something we prided ourselves on, and we demanded that it stayed intact, but it's kind of deteriorating now. And of course, we were talking about the announcement that the BET Awards, the Hip Hop Awards, and the Soul Train Awards would be indefinitely placed on hiatus. So that was Who Stole the Soul. That's what we're talking about tonight. Of course, the conversation led itself into other things. I know how we do. She said, y'all funny. Congratulations on marriage. Well, you know, I mean, people say congratulations, thank you, right? But I'm not a superhero, right? So I'm not people ask me for advice. I'm not the one to give you advice. The only advice that I ever give somebody when they say, how you been married so long? I'm like, because myself and my wife still want to be married. That's the only reason we're still married. There's no magic formula. There's no, well, I'm going to tell you what I do. I ain't Steve Harvey, because my book would only be one chapter. Do you want to be married? Because if either one of y'all wake up in the morning and say, I don't want to do this shit no more, we got a problem. And it's not, you know, then it gets like, oh man, it's a hostage situation. And so as long as whoever you with, if you say whatever we go through, I'm still not to the point where I want to do without this person. And I'm willing to stay in here because I still want to be married. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only advice that I give people who say, congratulations, Casey. I got my 23rd, 24th. Don't nobody tell my wife I can't remember the number. 23rd, 24th coming up. And I
hey, like, one of my guys, he getting a divorce and he going after his wife's pension. I said, wow.
Obviously, hey Dion, obviously he don't want to be married no more. Let me get that pension up out you. This is Ocean Sheila died. She said, listen, Mama Freeman don't have to tell a woman her worth. We sit on it. And if we decide to charge for our worth, we're looked at as hoes, yet wait until a man chooses us to decide, yes, he's worthy, so be loyal. Now we got to bring in his last name and bloodline until he fuck up. FYI, it's levels. It's a man's world, yet without a woman, nothing without a woman or a girl. I agree with that. She said, I'm going to tell her, because I said I couldn't remember. It's easy for me to come up with, right? It was 24 years because I know what year it started. That's how I just do that arithmetic in my head, like my mama say. But yeah, so, and it ain't no miracle. Ain't no, because Kev is shit. I hated Boys to Men. My wife used to tell me all the time, you hate love, right? Because I'd be like, simp ass motherfucker. Like I wasn't no simp, Kamar. I refused to be simpish. And so I was never going to wear the same t-shirt or I'm with her or none of that cornball shit. I was never going to be papoose with Remy Ma. But, you know, there was a process of of civilizing the savage beast that came along with it. What else? Oh, I said I was going to talk about Charleston White. And Kamar, you and I have we went back and forth on this before about this character that he plays. And right now, I don't know if it's due to fame or money, but those characters and who he actually is are kind of running together. Because every now and then I still hear him say something poignant, but I got to dig deeper and deeper to find it. And so we talked about the whole Hulk Hogan death and the controversy with Hulk Hogan, in which he spoke about on this tape where he hated black people and it was nigger hard ER and he wanted his daughter with one and all this kind of crazy stuff that actually got him booted out the WWE Hall of Fame. He lost a lot of endorsements. But then Charleston White comes on, and I should play the clip, but I'm not. And he talks about how he agrees with Hulk Hogan. And he was saying he don't like black people either, and he hopes his daughter doesn't marry a black man. He goes on to talking about, you know, who would want a black man running a thing up in this big old thing up in their daughter, and black people ain't shit. And he, like I said, he basically said he agreed with Hulk Hogan, and he wouldn't want his daughter to marry a black man. Now, once again, like people say this is a character, but when is it not funny? Like the whole thing he did with Kamala Harris, the way he talked about black women on that shit, I don't know if he was joking or what, but if he was, it got to the point where it just wasn't funny no more.
Niggas gotta quit paying them attention.
Okay.
They gotta quit looking at the interviews that people paying them to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I watched a video where he went with the one black dude to what they call the racist town in America, right? And he on a video with his Confederate flag, bandana, and cape and shit. You know what I mean? Agreeing with the racist white dude. I mean, that's the dumbass shit he do. You know what I mean? And I think he'll stop doing it when motherfuckers quit paying him to do interviews.
Is that selling the soul? That show ain't stealing it.
Well,
is that selling
it? That would be more selling it. That would be more of the sale.
So when I look at this thing, right, and so not that I care.
Because look, here's the thing, right? My bad, but here's the thing. On one end, he getting paid, but on the other end, it's a whole lot of people across America who hate him. So I would say that's selling his soul.
I don't disagree. I agree. I guess my thing is, white people are privy to these interviews, right? Like these are, so somebody who's not in the know, right? Somebody who has no experience with us or with the positive element of our community, of who we are, encounters this. And when you read the comments and you see black people agreeing with him, some agreeing with him, you tend to say, well, this is them, right? And he's very respected. Like you said, people watch his videos, a lot of black people. And I heard a lot of people say he's a genius. I'm just saying, a person who's not in the know, so somebody who may be even on the other side of the globe, I just feel like this is damaging. It depreciates the soul. This is damaging to us overall for one of us to speak about. This is modern day Step and Fetch It. Like if we're going to get mad at Step and Fetch It from what he did in the 20s and the 30s, and he played these shiftless servants, but he made millions of dollars at one point. He was the highest paid black actor in the country. And we call that out and say that's Step and Fetch It. That's Sam Bowen. You say you're just doing it for the money. I don't hear people saying he's a Sambo. But I think that's what it is. Whether it's a character or not.
Hey, people are saying that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's why I say it's a lot of people across America who don't like it.
Okay.
And that's the reason why. You know what I mean? The same reason like we talking about them. So a million probably I'm sure that feel the same.
Charleston White, an ignorant ass nigga.
Doing it for the money, and I think people just start paying attention to him because that's why he doing money.
But
yeah, I agree with you, Kumar.
But what he does is this is how he keeps black people locked in, because in between all of the mania-ass clips, there's something in there that he's gonna say that, like I said, can be a little profound in terms of the state of our community. And the person say, see, he's smart, man. He just be trying to fool y'all. No, if you act a fool more than you make sense, you're a fool to me. Right? Like what you just said has no merit, because you do the foolery too much. And we not that simple where you gotta show your ass to get our attention. You know? Because who are you talking to? Now, if you draw me in with that, I don't care if you come behind that and say something positive. I don't care. Yeah. Whether it's a character or not, I'm like that. I don't know. I'm not fucking with you. And I know everybody has their time in the spotlight. And I thought by now his would be over. I just think these days he should be somebody we don't listen to. But we diss Clarence Thomas. You're right. But we diss him. I don't see us dissing Charleston White like he should be dissed. So I agree with you, man. I just feel like a Sambo is a Sambo, right?
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I was about to say with Charleston White though. Like I feel like this is me myself personally. I understand this is my opinion. I understand that we in the black community, we got a lot of we fuck up. We got a lot of mistakes, a lot of violence. This is what the media portrays, but we know it's a lot of hard workers. There's a lot of family men, fathers, all of the positive shit. They don't want that to be seen because they still want to try to portray the negative image. So when you are a black man, knowing what we went through, and you speak against your culture, when you speak against your black people, to me, that just don't sit well with me. That's why when you always be like, with Dion, you always for the fuckery. I am. Because I'm not going to sit up there too much say things back. Because I get tired of the shootings and the violence and the bullshit and the fuck around the fire. I hate that shit that we always into some shit. A car crash coming, we get scared and run from the police. I do. I dislike it. But I'm not going to speak against my people because I know that a lot of times we dealing with other underlying issues and sometimes that shit act out. So that's just like people that voted for Trump, knowing that this man was going to do what he was going to do to the black community, to civil rights, to everything, and you still went in that booth and voted for him. I don't knock you for being a Republican or a conservative. That's okay. But just that particular person that you wanted to empower him by putting him in the White House, knowing that it was going to damage us, I just can't ride with that. So to me, Charleston White ain't nothing but just like a Clarence Thomas. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a special place in hell for those type of people.
Yeah, no, I just think that you do what you got to do to get your money, right? But once you get your money and you get your fame, you minimize that. And then you start doing what you initially meant to do. Like, so if his point was, I got to get their attention so that so a light can be shined on whatever I do in terms of my activism and my endorsements or my support of black people or young black people, and me trying to advocate for them and advise them on advocating for themselves. You do that for a while, but once the point is made, there's no need for you to tell another black man, I'm going to George Zimmerman your son, right? There's no reason to go on a rant about, yeah, we used to rape Asians and white women. We always was raping Asians, babies, all that. Like, what? That's funny? That's how you wanted to get my attention. You don't deserve my attention. So I just think, and I know everybody time comes and goes. I want his to be gone. I want his to be done.
I agree with you.
So Kamar probably had the best solution for it is maybe we need to establish a real boycott of him. To say no, don't, if you see him, don't click on it. On no platform. And then those dudes who are paying him big bucks to bring him on, will stop bringing him on because it won't be worth the money.
Bringing them on the scene.
I've had some white guys ask me and say to me, Kev, you should bring me on your show and let me be a co-host, because I think we could do big numbers with your perspective on black people and mine on white people. Imagine what we could do. And I'm like, I would never do that, because I'm never going to allow someone to come in and disrespect my people. You know what I'm saying? Consistently. Now, I'll say you got the right to say what you want to say, but you call into my show and say some white racist shit, I'm shutting you down and I ain't fucking with you no more. Point blank, period. I don't want clicks and likes that bad, where I'm going to, every week we got to sit through this white dude being as insulting as he can to black people, and I'm just sitting there eating, and I might throw something in about white people and all this kind of shit, but I feel like the damage is done the minute I allowed him space and time to disrespect us. Even if you're a black person and people say, why do you talk to Orlando? I don't hear Orlando disrespect black people. I hear him as a Trumper and a pro-Republican black man. But I don't hear him do Charleston White, right? There's people who would hate Orlando more than they would hate a Charleston White. And I just feel like it needs to be reversed. She said, this is Sharita Washington. Sharita Shaw. I'm sorry. She said, Charleston liked to spark controversy. And she said, no, them honkies need him. We don't need him. We don't need anything that's counterproductive or counter-progressive in our community, including some of us, right? We talked about damaged goods, right? If you're damaged and you don't know you're damaged, you're dangerous. Or if you're damaged and you won't accept that you're damaged, you're dangerous to yourself and everybody around you. So we need systems in place for us, from young to old, that will cater to our issues. We need spaces and places that these people can go to and get help. And we need to popularize that, as opposed to popularizing, hey, since I am dealing with these mental health issues and all this, I'm just going to go out here and just shoot up some shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm watching this. I hate to keep going back to it. I'm watching this All the Queen's Men, and I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy, y'all. Go and watch some episodes. And I know that it's, television and it's Tyler Perry, but the emasculation.
I never seen it. What it come on? What channel it come on?
Comes on BET Plus. Every man on this show is completely emasculated, and they play these games with you like these dudes are. One dude is just a sex fiend. Like, they try to make some sidebars where there's a good guy here and there, but nobody's dark skinned in true Tyler Perry fashion. Right? The darkest dude is one of the worst dudes on the show. Like, he's like just. And once again, even with all his lasciviousness, Eva, I'm saying her name, Eva, whatever her name is, she plays the madam. She make it point blank period to everybody, all of these men. I own you. I tell you who to date, who not to date, and they're always fucking up, needing her to help them. Madam, can you help me? I killed the woman in my apartment building this morning while we was having sex on accident. It's like, okay, don't worry about it. Keep dancing. Go get my money. It's the wildest shit I've ever seen. And when I was watching it last night, and this dude cuts the lady open and starts pulling her intestines out. This is the shit that's on BET Plus. It's the streaming service. He's pulling her intestines out, and he tasted it. Okay, I don't want to. I've never seen shit like this. And so I've said, whoa, is this what we think is our culture? Like, this is cool. This is Beauty. She said, Orlando. No, this is Sharita Shaw. She said, Orlando insulted me. He called me a single mother, which is super negative. Fuck, dude. If you feel like fuck him, have at him. I ain't got nothing. If that man come out his mouth to disrespect you in any way, you got the right to say whatever you want to say to him. My point was just that somebody like him we express super vitriol for, and maybe rightfully so because of some of the things he says, because he leans into it a lot. But somebody like Charleston White, who says way more crazy shit about us as a people, but we don't know him as much. Go ahead.
I'm again, I got like when he start talking, it's people that get at start calling him names. He don't even know nobody to be. He don't be calling. He don't call nobody names. Like he never until somebody says something to him first. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't know nobody that was in that room until people started calling him names and getting at him, right? And then when he started going back at him, now it's a big thing. He out of order. He called me this. He called me that. But you called him all kind of shit. That's what I was trying to say the other night. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, we got to be accountable for our action. Like, he didn't say nothing about no. But then all of a sudden, somebody on the phone cussing him out, calling him all kind of coon-ass niggas and all kind of shit, and he ain't said a word. He was still waiting to talk.
The one thing I say about this is, if you are a giver, you better be a damn good taker. So what I mean by that is, if I say, man, fuck you, bitch ass nigga, and he come back and say, no, you the bitch nigga with your ugly ass, I can't be like, oh, this motherfucker called me ugly.
Right. Because he said nothing to nobody.
We don't play them games.
Dion, you and him have the most classic get backs.
Here's an example, right? Peace to Sharita. But he'd have never knew to call her a single mother if she hadn't said nothing to him first. She'd have her name in the chat room. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Her. Until she started getting at him. I mean, really, he just come on the show and express his point of view. We don't even have to reply. Right. We don't even have to indulge in that shit. Let him say what he got to say and shut the fuck up.
But I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame nobody for going. If you come on here, this is a foundational Black American platform. This show all about us. So if you come on here and you say anything negative, anything that sounds Sambo-ish, I want people. I encourage people who disagree with him to say whatever they want to say to him. But if you do say something to him and he responds, you can't be like, well, he called me yada, yada, yada. Y'all going, let's go then. Let's go at it. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you punch me, nigga, don't call the police when I come back and bang on your motherfucking ass. I got to keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? I can't say what you hit me for, because you hit me, motherfucker. So let me get the chat room, because I want to get Dion to be able to speak on this, and I like the way Dion approaches it, because a lot of times when Orlando still throws, because Orlando throws jabs after the fact.
Hey, Dion take it way better than he used to.
Right, he'd be like, nah, man, I ain't even paying attention to dude. I ain't worried about dude. Let me make my point, right? And so
that's, let him see you sweat.
She said, we the people of color should love everything and everyone and stop letting people control our feelings. Nobody should be able to control your feelings. That's absolutely rule numero uno. She said, not negative stuff. Sharita Shaw said he be trolling, though he loves the attention. He leans into it. I've spoken, we've conversed about this. I tell him, you lean into this character. That's why I tell him you can't get mad at nothing nobody says to you because of the shit you do on the show. I tell him this all the time. I mean, you lean into this is the character you're playing. This is Jerome in the house. This is, you know what I mean? This is Bookman. on the talk show. It's a sitcom and he plays a character, right? Like he's Mr. Furley and shit. And so, and I disagree with him on a lot of shit, but it don't live in my head, because I'll tell him in a minute, man, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, and just keep it moving. Right. I ain't got all you
out the other
whole ass sellout ass nigga. Like I can hurt you way more by saying, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm not trying to hear that shit. And I'm moving on. So I'm not, but it took time to get here. I'm not gonna play like I didn't used to be I'm finna get this bastard. He called me, and Orlando is so petty. I said, listen, after the show, Orlando had called me, and he was watching the show back, and he was going back commenting on everybody who made a comment about him. He went and responded to every last one. So I'm getting these notifications. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm responding to all these motherfuckers who said something about me. He's being super petty. And now we're not on the air, so you don't get the last word. So it looked like he just left it as, oh, well, you're just an idiot and you low brow and you low budget. That's the comment.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Really, like when people do that to him, they really making him look good to them Republicans. Like I'm over here battling. I'm going at him. I'm going at him, spreading our idea out. You know what I'm saying? Like they like that type shit, man.
You're so brave.
They like that shit.
She said he gets the attention from the hate they love to give. Yeah, it's a play. It's a play. It's not. Listen, he ain't that passionate about what we doing over here.
Right.
He ain't taking nothing we say, even the things that are pertinent, back to his constituents, saying, well, you know, I'm a little bit more enlightened on that because I've been talking. Well, no, he's over here like, listen at these clowns. These motherfuckers, they some circus animals. So, you know, they say I might be a hoe, but at least I know I'm a hoe. That's the difference between the two, right? I'm under no impressions that I'm nothing that I'm not. She said past interactions, Kamar. She said FBA. I'm with that shit. That's what I am. This is a show. It's all about the delineation movement. But also, Sarita, knowing that that's what I represent and that's who I am, it's created a sense of me being kind of insulated towards a lot of that. Now, you can go too far with me. I ain't gonna lie. On the show, I'm just gonna hang up on you. In real life, I'd walk away from you, but you can go too far. Why am I telling? Hey, man, wait a minute. Hold, hey, man, freeze that shit. But at the same time, it doesn't ruin my day because I know who I am. I understand the delineation movement. I understand who I'm a descendant of. I understand what my people have endured in this country, right? And we come through an era where everybody had something bad to say to us or about us. That's what this whole soul thing is about. That was the first time culturally Black people said, no, listen, we got something here. All this shit is us. This is our core. And it was the first time that we were polarized by that, to say this is us, this is our shit. It was delineation. So when somebody want to come to me now, especially if I ask you a direct question and you can't say yes or no, I've already moved on from the conversation in my head, right? So did the dog die? Well, see, what happened was the dog had pneumonia for a long time. I took him to the hospital. I was the only one in this neighborhood who was giving this dog medicine. Is the dog dead or not? Yeah, he dead. All right. Thank you for answering the question. Okay. She said he been, hey y'all, I'm here, the nigga you love to hate. Exactly. See, that's the character he plays. Ding dong, who is it? Mr. Furley. Let Mr. Furley in.
So how you shake them type of people? You don't pay them no attention. Eventually they get bored and they stop.
She said he need to stop playing in our face. Listen, Ernest Ewok gave me a whole dissertation on how he's playing me by me allowing him to come on the show. He's playing you, Kev. You ain't paying attention. He shouldn't be allowed. There's no need for you to be having conversations with him. I will talk to anybody.
I can agree, though. I really can, though.
Okay.
Like, I used to see him at the auto parts show where he worked at, and now, like, if I seen him, I might speak, but we ain't gonna have no conversation. It all depends how I feel. Like, I might not speak. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm serious about a motherfucker that voted for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say too much, you know what I'm saying? Because some people got family members that voted for him, and they took that shit offensive the last time I said something about him. But, you know, I just don't want to fuck with nobody.
You talking about me with my uncle?
Themselves.
No, I wasn't. I didn't take it as, I was going to say, I didn't take it as offensive. I was just telling you I still love my uncle, even though he's a Republican. I wasn't like, fuck you, Uncle Clint. Go ahead, man. I cut you off. My bad.
I think my gal stepdaddy voted for him. And so when I said that everybody that voted for Trump deserved to be in hell and dead, she kind of got offended for what I had to mute her because she's still on. I'm still got her on what's her name. But yeah, I think he voted for Trump. But for real though, I don't like nobody. I really don't like people that voted for Donald Trump. I really don't. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? They are pieces of shit and scum of the earth. Because look what this man is doing. Like there's no way in the hell people could tell me that he's doing anything that's beneficial to us. He fired the people because that was the lowest job growth in history. And he said that the lady fudged the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, get the fuck out of here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this bullshit, people just turning a blind eye to it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of listening to him about this fucking Epstein shit because who gives, like, that's the thing that y'all going after is Epstein. And you know what? I was listening to the people, because right now the Democrats like, fuck it. Y'all want to play this gerrymandering shit? We gonna gerrymander some shit. So I was thinking about when we was talking about Project 2025 last year, and you was like, well, you know, everything.
Wait, don't give me the female vote. Don't give me the female voice you about to get hung up on. I knew it was coming. See, that's that Orlando shit. I knew it was coming. But no,
you was like, you know, we worried about the courts is gonna this and the courts is gonna do that, and you know, like the courts is fighting, but shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like it ain't no help. And then when you got Donald Trump sympathizers appointed to the bench, you know what I'm saying? They not doing no better. You feel what I'm saying? So just looking at the bullshit, you know what I'm saying, that he's doing and how he's tearing the fabric of America apart, you know, and even though, you know, we can sit up here and say, yeah, America, you know, not for us and this, that, and the other, but you know, shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to worry about white people coming to fuck with me and talk crazy to me. And I got to be on some defensive shit because, like, y'all feel like Donald Trump has empowered y'all, and now I got to want to fuck one of y'all up. And then, you know, it just be too much.
To my defense, too, let me say, what my point was, my faith is in the people to counter whatever he does. I don't have a false sense of, oh, our courts will stop him. I said it will be political upheaval, which it has been. I said that judges would be throwing out all kinds of injunctions, and we see now he's going about making sure that they can't. Like his move now is to say, no, all that throwing my shit, taking me to court, I'm gonna get rid of that and all this. So he is doing that. But what I said was my faith was in the people. The people voted him in. A great mistake was made. So it's going to take the people to fix it. It's when America gets tired and says, God damn, enough is enough, then that's the only time something's going to move. If we let one side decide, then we're always going to be in a pickle. So we got to get to the point where the people have said, we have absolutely had enough. Right now, there's a lot of people who still say, man, he's doing great. I've seen some black people say he's the greatest president we've ever had. Right? Like, there's a lot of black Trump supporters. So that's why I laugh when Beauty said he's finna make us slaves again. Because there's some black people who you can't. Orlando's one of them. I guess I'm more interested in people hearing the other side of the coin so they can make an informed decision, as opposed to assuming. Because a lot of times his talking points are the talking points that they'll use to confuse you. So when you come to Outlaw Radio, you can say whatever you want. So are you listening or are you just trying to speak? So that's why I say, get at his ass. If you don't like what he say, but don't get mad when he says something back to you because of what you said. I think that's my point. I think that's what Kamar was saying. Say whatever you want to say to him, but then you can't turn around when he says something back and be like, see, he called me a punk. It's like, well, you just called him a bitch ass nigga. So what was he supposed to say? Thank you. I'll have another.
And dog be come back sometime too.
he can roast.
He be having some good comebacks too, man. Motherfuckers get fucking pissed.
And it goes to Kamar. A lot of them is intended to be gut punches. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And like I said, he's called me after the show and it's like, Kev, I wasn't trying to disrespect the show or nothing, but he has the same argument. This motherfucker called me a Sambo ass sellout, right? So like, he called Ian Jordan a bottom bitch one time, and Ian know I'm not lying. Ian heard him say that shit and went ham on him.
Ian wanted to fight.
For he was months. I had to finally get an olive branch on this show and say, look, man, we got to this shit. It's just motherfucker. I'm ribbing, but I don't want to get ribbed on. Like, you can't. I grew up in the neighborhood of ribbers. You was getting ribbed on if you came out the house. Your only alternative was to
look, and it's a difference too. Like, that's funny. You do that, you know what I mean? But we ain't gotta get disrespectful.
And he goes there, and he responds in kind to people. Yeah. So if you be clever, get at his ass. If he leave, don't let no stone be unturned. That's why I let Ewok go the other night, because if he felt some way about that man calling him a bottom feeder, now he took it to the North Pole. Ewok took that man he took him to Santa front door. Like, he went to the North Pole. And I was like, whoa. And even shout out to Eddie Silas and Theron, who were on here from Prolific Firearms, and shout out to Ajamu Butler for bringing them on. Shout out to y'all for watching that show. The numbers look pretty good. I think we did a good job interviewing them. I've watched some other platforms interview them as well, and our shit was better. I might be biased, whatever. But shout out to them. But they were even like, what the hell is going on? And it was like, nah, just kind of like what we do on Outlaw Radio. It's like, are you not entertained? Right? It's a gladiator sport, right? Brenda Peterson said, if you voted for Trump, I'm done with you. And it's fuck my uncles, aunties, and cousins that voted for him. Damn. I still love my uncle, man. I can't stop loving my uncle, man. That's my uncle. Like, my love for him wasn't based on political affiliation in the first place.
Right.
So, and even though I could look at him and say, you stupid, and you are Sambo, but my uncle is also the one who has come to several of us as the younger nieces and nephews and said, you want some property? Here, get you. I'm gonna set you up so you can get a couple. I got a couple off of him. Now, what we did with those investments, and I'm not gonna lie, he didn't give me the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air mansion. You know what I'm saying? I had to work. I had to say, oh shit, I didn't know, because I had to do some work. I had to become a amateur carpenter, Kamar. I had to hang some drywall and shit. You know what I mean? But he gave me that opportunity. So, and if I had some money accumulated right now, and I said, I want to get some more cribs. I got my money right. I got everything right. He gonna say, okay, well, let's go here, right? So, just because he a Republican, he don't say
political got nothing to do with that.
No. Now, I went fishing. We used to go fishing. We used to hang out, and he told me some ridiculous political diatribes about black people and their welfare mentality, and to the point I'm like,
but the only reason you probably still fuck with him is because that's your uncle. But
that's what I just said. He's my uncle.
Yeah. Outside of that, though, and even with that being my, a family member, because this is what I feel about us as black people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we get weak and we let down our guards. We like, oh, we forgive them. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, that's the problem. We got that, as I say this, that democratic mentality. That's why the Democrats are in the position that they in, because the Republicans didn't give a fuck. They was going high and low and middle gut. The Democrats was trying to stay on the high ground. The Republicans didn't. We as black people always try to stay on the high ground. If you voted against my interests because you felt like you had some type of epiphany or whatever, that this man was going to do a better job than this lady or whatever Democrat, you voted against my interests and people that look like me, and then it's going to affect you, because don't think that shit, you know what I'm saying, won't come back around, because when they get...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out, bro.
SNAP benefits, they cutting housing vouchers and SNAP benefits.
Right, but I want to ask you a more specific question.
Deon,
because you're breaking up too.
Because you got somebody starving and want to take what you got.
You breaking up, Deon. You going in and out. But I want to say this. What has he been allowed to say about us as a people on this show?
It just started doing that.
Hold on. I know. That's what I'm saying. You got to get that straight, because we can't hear what you're saying. But he hasn't been allowed to say anything on this show about us as a people that was insulting or degrading towards us, and he didn't get checked about it. By myself, by Kamar, by the chat room, by whoever was here. He's not been able to come on here and present a strong case for, well, this is why we're better, or why he gets debunked. Everything he says on here, that's not accurate. Even his counterpoints about what Trump is doing. If there's a counterpoint to be made that says that's a lie, you skewing the information. It's done. So he's not using our platform to get over. He's not getting over. You know, aside from the insults, and if you listen at the show, aside from the insults that are said to him, a lot of the stuff that he says is just not factually inaccurate. We deal with that before we deal with any. You called me this, you said that. No, what you just said about that was inaccurate. We ain't gonna let you sell that on here. Keep moving. So yeah, it's fun and games to me.
Go back to the shows. We definitely stop and we let him say what he got to say, and then we come back and against the shit he be on. So
Joseph Walker,
stopped from this.
Joseph Walker was in the People's News Network going at black people for how long? He even developed an alter ego, a lucky leprechaun or whatever. That man came on here. He was rocking with us for a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna sneak in the door, and then I'm gonna bust in the motherfucker. It didn't happen because as soon as he tried to turn the corner, we cut him out. I hung up on him. So, and
you know, dig this, right? Hey, dig this. Like, in order for us to evolve, you got to be able to have conversation. You got to be able to dialogue. It's always going to be this side and it's going to be that side. Now, when the dialogue is going on from side to side correctly, you know what I mean? It gives a logical person who's watching that dialogue, they get to see and what makes sense. You know what I mean? They get to add up this side to that side and see which one makes sense. Like, you give people opportunity, a conscious decision when you got one side and you got another side, and you can effectively communicate with each other.
And shout out to Joseph Walker for the donation too. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Shout out for the donation.
No, he donated to Outlaw Radio. Real spit. And it was so generous. I was like, oh, this is cool. But that's not going to give you a pass to come back here. Now, just because you gave me that don't mean you can come back here and say, boy, these niggers are, no, you'll get hung up on again. He's welcome to the platform. If he has something he wants to say and he respects the platform and don't disrespect my people, I'm all for you to have, like Kamar said, dialogue. Dialogue goes two ways, right?
There's got to be somebody against it and there's got to be somebody for it. You know what I mean? Now, that shit get irritating when the people start disrespecting each other instead of having an intellectual dialogue.
But it's fun. It's funny.
For a minute.
It's funny. It's funny. Listen, I've laughed. You see me on the show laughing.
Hey, it'd be funny. Hey, look, it'd be funny until they start getting upset for real.
Right. Yeah, you can tell when it is.
And not only that, the shit look horrible.
It sounds horrible when everybody's yelling over each other. That's why I'm always saying, I don't give a fuck who said, but I just want y'all to stop talking over each other.
It do sound horrible, but when I say horrible, I'm talking about from the outsider's view. Like, look, he told you these niggas don't know how to talk to each other. Look at them.
And it sounds horrible to them too. They like, what the fuck is this? What is this? I'm going back to Homer Blow. Like so. Right. But I'm sure he has that issue. Anytime you get passionate black people in the room, it's gonna be an argument. I'm sorry. That's who it's gonna be, it's gonna be some heat, it's gonna be some friction. Let me get this chat room because it's backed up. Beauty said that's where the problem comes in. We didn't vote. Sharita Shaw said we do vote. I vote. I don't know about nobody else. I vote. I vote. No, for real. I vote. I told you, midterms coming up. Not a Democrat or a Republican. Just fed up to hear with Trump bullshit. I'm voting all blue. I'm voting democratically. Beauty said, "Where's Lena Taylor?" Lena's a judge. Lena, like, I'm over this shit because Lena got criticized and called out and dragged and all kinds of shit for years, right? And some of the shit was justified because if you know Lena be Lena, right? So, but she was an advocate for the people. And I used to call her Hurricane Lena because you call, she's showing up. She don't show up at an event. You be like, how'd she find out about this shit? Lena was about the people. And she just dealt with a lot of shit she didn't have to deal with. And so she got a job and she's a judge now. She doing her thing. So, you know, good journey. Get your money, relax. Go have a Mai Tai on the beach. She put in her work. She said Dion sounds a little muffled. Y'all know his audio went out. It was degrading. Ian said, don't be asking about Lena. I have a story to tell about her, the feds, etc. Her family lived next to my granny on 15th Street. Okay. Well, she from the hood, right? She's from Capitol. We Capitol Drive, baby. I'm from 17th and Capitol. So I no telling what was going on inside them beautiful brick homes back in the days. He said, you guys are way too intelligent for anyone to pull the wool over your eyes in any regard. That's why I say this is one of my favorite platforms, and I actually watched the whole show. I had to take a break tonight because I was on a conference call. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you, my brother. We appreciate you, Ian Jordan. He said, how do we donate? If you want to donate to the show, there's a Cash App at the bottom, $KB7524. And then you give it to me, and then I'll give Kamar some of it. Kamar, like, I wish I had some goddamn sound effects on here. Woo, shit. No. Look, Cash App is there. If you want to donate to the show, I appreciate it. Shout out to I've gotten people who have donated to the show. I'm transparent with that. Like, Mama Jenkins has donated to the show so many beautiful times. I truly appreciate her. It's not a necessity. That's why it's scrolling on the bottom. It is $KB7524. I'm just gonna say that again in case y'all just tuning in. That is the Cash App at the bottom. Listen at me, come on. But no, first of all, unless you gave me a whole lot of money, nobody is deeper in the hole for operating costs when it comes to Outlaw Radio than me. So just for StreamYard, I pay monthly, Wi-Fi monthly, editing monthly, equipment monthly. I've been doing this 11 years. So if a person give me $100 and be like, well, I gave you some money. You just gave me 1/3 of what my microphone costs. It's a Shure microphone. It's a $300 microphone. I'm not high capping. I'm just saying, if you gave me some money, it wouldn't be like, well, I paid his bills last month. You're just contributing for something you love, and it's only going to make it better. So, yeah, if you want to donate, go ahead. He said, never mind, I see the Cash App. He said, do you do Zelle? I don't have Zelle. That's Cash App. That's all I have. I don't know. What is Zelle? What is Zelle?
It's through your bank account. You have to look at your app, your bank app.
Uh-huh.
You might have it and just don't know it.
Yeah, I don't use it if I have it.
Most people got it, and really it'll just be your phone number. You just turn it on.
Oh, no. I just got Cash App. That's all right.
Yeah.
It's
better than Cash App because, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no fees to it, none of that shit. You know what I mean? And it's directly to your bank account.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to get that. But for right now, all I got is Cash App. So,
right.
You know, you still just, you know, we'll work something out.
Straight up.
Kamar has a point about outside eyes. You know what? I don't think of this show as some kind of, because I don't take myself too seriously. I don't think I'm Black CNN or nothing like that, right? But I guess if there are some people who are checking us out to see if there's any kind of quality or validity to what we do, and they tune in during one of these dysfunctional moments, maybe it could be something that would say, well, I don't want to listen to this. I would just encourage that person to watch more of the show.
Or even if it was somewhere in public. You know what I mean? Like, say we was somewhere at some kind of conference or at the Sherman Phoenix, and we wound up in this discussion, and then you got a motherfucker talking about, you coon ass shit, hollering and shit like you ready to fight, and you know what I mean, all kind of disrespectful ass shit. Well, that look bad.
It is bad.
You know what I mean? It look horrible.
You need to be removed.
That don't make you look smart. It make you look fucked up. You know what I mean? And like me trying to tell him that was really me trying to save him from looking so bad like that. Like, dog, he ain't even said a word on the show yet.
I understood why they was at his ass, though. I understand why they at his ass. I understand. Like, once again, if you're gonna be petty and go at people, they gonna come back.
Person where if something happened today, I left that shit in yesterday.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, but
I ain't carrying it over to today. I ain't holding on to that shit. Like I say you be in one ear and out the other.
But we also do say, Kamar, we don't get to tell people how to grieve.
Right.
So if
All
somebody
right.
hurts
That's
their
why I said
feelings, you
me.
say,
How I do it. I don't carry shit over. I'm talking about me.
yeah. And if anybody out there wants to insult somebody, as long as you can do it in a respectful way, I'm a cheerleader for foolishness, especially on messy Mondays. Ian said, I'm voting all blue also. Sharita Shaw said, I don't see the Cash App. And then she said, oh, I see it. I don't even, because I don't promote it like that. I could put that shit in way bigger letters. I don't, if you appreciate what we doing, it contribute. If you don't, then don't. I'm not. One thing for sure, this show doesn't pay my bills. Okay? So if you're thinking, I ain't gonna pay dude bills, not by donating to the show, unless you give me a whole lot of money. And I'd be shocked as hell. Like, what? I would use that money to go in and make something better around here. So I'm not a con artist. Ian says Zelle is super easy. And she said, and Zelle don't change. Ian C. Jordan said it's better. And he said, oh, this is Sharita Shaw. She said, y'all are black CNN.
Good looking. Good looking.
If people feel like our platform is that legitimate, I greatly appreciate it. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm a humble dude. I'm humble, man. I'm more in tune with Kevin. Like Kevin, taking care of Kevin is important to me. So I don't allow my ego to get out of control. I try not to be obsessive about things. I got a lot of habits. My daughter's told me I'm probably autistic. She said, Dad, you in these remote control cars is like, you're on another level. You are autistic. So I don't take this shit like that. But if y'all really think we are that valid, I appreciate it. And I really do. And I thank you.
Yeah, but I do though, because it's about information. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when we find stuff out about our legacy and our heritage and our history, you know what I'm saying? That's just like when I just told you about when the American Revolution was 1776, but George Washington wasn't elected president until 1789. Who was the president from 1776 to 1789? You know what I'm saying? That's something for some.
It wasn't a president because at that point, really, people talk about the Declaration of Independence, but all that was us saying we're free. That wasn't when America started. That's when America said
it was presidents in between that time.
But we weren't an established republic. I'm saying you can't compare that to the signing of the Declaration of Independence because that was a self-declaration. Now, when they won the war and Britain said, okay, we concede, y'all won. Now we got to really build a republic that ain't dependent on Britain. So if there may have been people who were in charge first, but they were in charge of something that was not necessarily a constitutional bound republic like the United States became after that. So yeah, it probably was presidents before that, but there's a difference. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Carrie Walker Jones, how you doing? My sister, she said, damn, I missed it. Hey, well, you can always go back and watch it, right? It's on YouTube. It's on the Outlaw Radio page, and it's on my personal page. And that's why I always ask people to share the show. Let me see. She said charge. Beauty saying that the Cash App charges $1 or something like that. It said I thought he hung up. Now Dion gonna stay in there until he can't, right? And since he ain't working for the city no more, he like, I'm up until it's over. Dion is always with us. He always with us. I wanted to, we went a little bit over because we were late. We started late. So that's why we're on so late. I'm gonna close this down. She said Wednesday night is what? Wednesday night. Well, tonight was Who Stole the Soul, right? And you can go back and talk about it. I thought it was a poignant conversation about the deterioration of our cultural epicenter, Black people being the people who created any cultural revolution that this country has ever seen. Well, the main ones, right? Everything we've ever touched has gone to another level. So right now, I don't see that same kind of pride in cultivating who and what we actually are and what we bring to the table. I feel like we can create something and it'll flourish, and then we make enough money to commoditize it, and then we'll sell it off. And once they get a hold to it, they're gonna run it into the ground. And the fallout from that is more of us who are really connected saying, I want no parts of that. Like, so a lot of us aren't gonna watch the BET Awards, the Hip Hop Awards now. A lot of us are not going to watch the Soul Train Awards now, because who wants to see Glorilla get a gospel award? right? Who wants to see Kirk Franklin in some high heel boots twerking? What Kevin Hart say? Front twerking, dick twerking. What he say?
Twerking for Jesus. Dick
Right.
twerking for Jesus. Popping dick for Jesus. Some shit he said.
So yeah, that's what happens. That's what's happening. And so we just got to figure out a way to get back on code. And it comes and it goes, man. This is what happens. It's a natural progression. I just think we as a people got the power to change way more than we think we do. As a matter of fact, we said on the show a long time ago, Black people give up more power than what's taken from them. Mentally, we give up a lot of our power. Our actions, our behavior, it gives up our power. It gives up our leverage. You know what I'm saying? And then we just make assumptions that, well, we can't do this or we can't do that because the white man, without understanding, if that's your assumption, then you're never going to succeed in the first place. You can't go into the game thinking, well, I know I'm going to lose, but you got to go into it thinking, hey, man, I'm about to make some shit happen, right? You play hard, right? So, that's just kind of like my take on it. Everybody has an opinion. That's the great thing about it. Sharita Shaw is already calling for it. She said, real OG shit, Kamar. Beauty said, really? So check this out. One of the stories I wanted to get on tonight, but I think I'll expand on this more Monday, is what is going on with the WNBA where fans are throwing dildos on the court. I'm not making this up. They're having an issue right now with people in the crowd throwing dildos on the court, and a couple players been hit by these dildos. Yeah. And so,
what's the dildo?
You got to look that up if you don't know. You have to Google. Just Google it. Just Google it. Just Google
you know I'm fucking with you.
It ain't about that much information. You know what I mean? Like, what's a dildo? Hey, no, but if somebody's listening and they don't want to admit that they don't know what one is, then Google it. You might be surprised. You might discover something about yourself. But no, I'm watching these clips and I'm saying, really? Because they got to stop the games, Kamar. Like, was all of a sudden, and the ball boys got to come and get this shit off the court. So they like got towels on their hands and
nobody want to touch that shit.
It's mean. What is this? They talk about the improprieties of the pay between the WNBA players and the NBA players. But we talked about that because the earning power is not the same. The earnings aren't there to divvy up, right? But then there's also this talk about what's really holding the WNBA back is the fact that the majority of the players are lesbians. And so you notice they try to make it more sexy, right? Like, so they show them dressed coming into the locker room sometimes and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, some of them women they shouldn't show because it just reinforces the lesbianism because she coming in straight up dressed like a dude. And I'm like, okay, well, why you showing that? It's the same as when the NBA players, dudes come in and they dress like women. Like, dude got on women fashion, like he coming to the finals and it's like, look at this, what are you doing? But yeah, I don't know what's up with the dildos being thrown on the court. I don't know. And everybody's like, what? Just Google it, look it up. WNBA problem with fans throwing objects on the court. I sent a People's News Network somewhere. But yeah, so that's what they're doing, man. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy world we live in. Hate is still hating, right? And it doesn't stop. Kamar, what you got going on this weekend, man?
Let's see what I got going on this weekend. Tomorrow night we got the night market at the Sherman Phoenix. That's from 5 to 9. We be outside. DJs is going down. They got gifts. They giving away shit. It's raffles, all type of shit to be going on. Come on down and hang out. Saturday I'll be at the Fondy Market. Saturday morning I'll be at the Fondy Market. And then I'll be back at House of Vitality.
Okay, that's what's up. Hit this brother up for all your.
When you say they having a night market, tomorrow or Friday?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I might stop by there. I don't be doing shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be popular.
For all your wellness products, y'all. She said you stayed away from stud because all lesbians ain't studs. Brendan Peterson said that could be a whole show. It could be. I don't, because
they film.
They got some of them are studs. That's what I'm saying. Some of you take they really big up Angel Reese because she's an attractive young lady for all intents and purposes.
Gay, though.
But that's what I'm saying. She, for all intents and purposes, is representing as a heterosexual female. And so you can look at Angel Reese and say, okay, she's feminine, still a good basketball player. So they want to play that up. So they want to say, okay, we got some pretty women over here too. But it's just when you got the short fade with the Timbos and the shorts and the construction Carl Kanai vest on walking in before the game. I'm like, yo, that's a stud right there.
Brittany Griner is a man, though. That's a trans man.
Brittany Griner, she is, yes.
Her and Caitlin Clark, whatever that. Them trans men, them are men.
I don't know about Caitlin Clark, but they show Brittany Griner with her shirt off, and I'm like, I see not a breastises. Those look like a man.
Yeah,
chest.
and listen to her voice. She's a trans man.
I don't know, man. Maybe that's why they throwing the dildos on the court, yo. But anyways, I think another part of what goes on in our communities now is we're way too sensitive about things. We seen that this young girl, Doechii, who's a rapper who got a Grammy, and you know, she's popular. I'm not a fan of her music because she talks a lot about doing drugs, and she's also the young lady. She's a rapper, and she's also the young lady who says that what turns her off about men are heterosexual men. She only likes and she only will date bisexual men. So I don't pay her any attention. It's one of those things, like we said, if you don't dig what's coming down, then don't pick it up. So I don't pay her any attention. But she made some comments this week about Martin. And I know, Dion, you don't like Martin, so just please be quiet while I can finish my little spiel. Martin is a classic show. It's a cultural statement from the 90s. Martin, a lot of us related to Martin. Martin was very relevant to what was going on in a hip culturally, the clothes, the music, the artists, the people he had on the show. It is a landmark standard for Black entertainment. But he had a back and forth with Pam and Tashina Arnold. I never once heard Martin express colorism to her. Did he say nappy about her hair? Sometimes he did. He talk about her weave and wig. Sometimes he did. She insulted him. They went back and forth. It was part of the show. But I seen Doechii come out this week and she says, well, you know, Martin, I just couldn't stand those jokes because it was about colorism and Pam was dark and Gina was light-skinned. And it's like, well, everybody came at her and said there was no colorism involved. And when you talked to Tashina Arnold, she said there was actually some stuff Martin refused to do because he said it was taking it too far. So sometimes when you too sensitive, it's just you being sensitive. And misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? So that's why everything you think or feel, you shouldn't say. But we know in this day and age, you can say whatever the fuck you want. And you not only can you say it, you can go live and say it. And you can start you a podcast and say it and share it with millions of people. But that doesn't mean it's valid. I guess the moral of this story is sometimes some people, Barack Obama included, with his opinion on the way to raise healthy young men is to have them have stronger relationships with gay men. Sometimes some people just simply need to shut the fuck up. That is the point. There's no philosophical, agnostic type information here. Sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear what you got to say. It's only valid to you. Kamar, hit us with a real OG moment.
Real OGs. Really out here pushing peace. We guiding the youth. Fuck down in these streets. Stop me when I'm lying.
I will see y'all Monday, man. Peace and love. Please share the show.
Yes, sir.